to spoon. Yeah, to spoon. You from Funjama, Maryland to spoon. Yeah, to spoon. If you eat kebab, grudgy like my brother to spoon. You got a spoon TV, you got a spoon radio, to spoon. Yeah, to spoon. What? Yeah, Rastafari. Kilibaba, kilibaba, kilibaba. Kilibaba, kilibaba, kilibaba. What I want? This one you got today. Spoon TV. This one you got today. Spoon TV. Spoon Balabadiga. Skidibidi Dabado. Spoon TV. Spoon Entertainment. Go
A special one from the CEO, standing with the spoon. And your boy, Friday the South Band. Charges on the beat. To get your information.
The 25th day of September 2023. This is Spoon 107.5 FM. For those of you listening to us across Liberia, some of you are listening to us on Trust 88.7 FM there in Bomi County. That station covers some parts of Grand Cape Mount as well as Bapulu County. I'd love to say good evening to you. For those of you watching us via Spoon TV Live, I love to say good morning, good afternoon, good evening to you wherever it is you're listening to us from across the world. This is Liberia's biggest talk show. Hands down, this is the Spoon Talk. My name is Diamond Slanger. I'm producing tonight. I do see Dr. Francine Chenoweth Richardson in the background. She's going to be coming on the show as well to, spearhead activities until the rest of the panelists can join in on Spoon Talk tonight. So once again, you're welcome. Dr. Richardson, hello, ma'am. How are you?
Diamond, happy belated birthday. How are you doing?
I'm doing well, thank you. Trying to be good. Yeah.
Trying to be good. We miss you. Miss seeing you. Miss you on your birthday. Did you have a good day?
Yeah, I had a good day on the overall. It was a very, very, very rainy day, but it was a good one. The fact that I had gone full circle, and then beginning a new circle as well. So many things to be grateful for, but the problem was I didn't have network connectivity. But it was a good one, Thank you guys for all of the support, all of the love that you showed me. Felt really, really special and appreciated on that day. Some of the messages, still coming in. Yeah. So yeah, on the overall, it was a good one for me.
Yes. So the CEO was looking for you. I'm sure he's going to make something happen.
Looking for me, eh?
Yeah, he was looking for you. He wanted to, make sure that our viewers appreciate you. So I'm sure he's going to come in, making sure that we do something for you over here, including singing a happy birthday to you because you're such an important part of this establishment. I mean, a lot of people appreciate you going out there and doing the best that you can. Rain, sun, you're out there. And you have such a great presentation whenever you're out there. So we really appreciate you. And I'm happy that God has given you extended life to do what you love to do best.
Thank you, ma'am. And I look forward to the song, especially your own tune that you'll be putting in a song, thanks to everybody. The message is still coming in, Dr. Richardson. But today is not a good day for me, personally. It's not a good day. What I saw this morning, it broke me to the core. Up to now, I haven't even been able to eat anything. Waking up early this morning to the news that an entire family,
I heard,
were victims of a tragic fire disaster, you
Oh God,
know, going to bed and not being able to see the next day. And then
Jesus.
for what I saw, we
Mm-hmm.
couldn't show those images on camera. You
Mm.
know, that was enough to break me for the entire day.
Oh.
And the question is,
Mm-hmm.
where is our emergency response in this country? Do we have one?
Forget about that one.
Do we? You
Mm-hmm.
know, when citizens are in distress, whom can they call on? Is there a system that is going to make itself available to them? You know, when I was told by one of the first responders that they had called the fire service and they were told that the truck couldn't get in gear,
Amen.
so they
They
couldn't
couldn't get to
respond.
where they were.
The truck couldn't they couldn't change gear. The gearbox got issue, so the
Are you?
truck couldn't change gear, so they couldn't respond. If they had responded in time and on time, wouldn't we have been singing a different song today? You know,
That breaks
five
my heart.
persons
It breaks.
looking at their pictures. The smallest months old baby, another 1 month, 2 years, just celebrated birthday a couple of days ago. Another young person just graduated from high school about 11 days ago,
Mm-mm.
full of life,
Mm-mm.
you know. And this family, condolences to this family. They've been through a lot. And
Yes,
to
I
go through this, saw the young mother who lost her daughter who had just graduated from high school.
look at
She
that.
celebrated her daughter a few days ago on Facebook. The other victim posted about 10 hours prior to the tragedy, talking about the ongoing Big Brother Nigeria reality show. So we don't see these things, but where is our system? And another thing that struck me today, one of the victims was left all alone, a 12-year-old boy. And it brings to question, how do we train our journalists in this country? You
Echo.
looking at someone that is traumatized without any adult supervision, and you subjecting that child to an interview on the spot. Where is
Huh?
your humanity? Where is your training? Do we even have, grievance counselors for kids? It's a mess, Dr. Richardson. Excuse me for saying it. It's a real mess. When
I
you see
feel
these things, when you see these things up close and personal, it's a mess.
it. Yeah.
We need
I'm
to start
feeling.
talking about these things. When we had the fire incident at the Islamic school, there was a whole lot of talk
I
about,
remember.
oh yeah, we'll bring fire trucks, we'll do this, we'll do that, we empower the districts and all of these things. Amen. Amen.
I'm speechless, Simon. I I don't even know what to say.
Anyway, that's that.
Yeah, I'm sorry. That's all I can. I'm tired of saying I'm sorry too. I'm really tired, and I don't know. We just pray. That's all we can do. Pray for better days for our country. That's all. But thank you for continuing to stay on the issues and continue to press that we get a better Liberia for even for humanity's sake, not so much of all the politics that we do when we talk, but for the sake of humanity, for the sake of that child who were being attempted to get an a journalist attempted to get an interview. For the sake of that family, that's what's more important, you know. But we need to have the type of government that will take all of these things into consideration. But thank you for staying on top of it. And I pray that you get long life, that God give you long life to continue to bring all of these things to our attention, Diamond. Um,
Yeah, Dr. Richardson. Just before you bring Prince Maxwell on,
mhm.
when I was on the scene and I was looking at what happened, and all sorts of thoughts were flooding through my mind,
Yeah, yeah.
and I'm asking myself, Where is the decentralization? You know, why are we just dependent on centralized things? You know, where is the training? Why can't we, if we cannot make up for that in equipment, why can't we make up for that in training? Why isn't the fire service going out in communities to train volunteer fire servicemen? You know, those who will be on the standby, they will be trained. They will be in the various communities, like we have neighborhood watch teams, you know, to teach them and train them that in the event, you guys can be the first responders until the actual fire service can make its way to you. You know, why aren't we thinking in this direction? Whenever tragedy strikes our country, that is when we hear all sorts of pronouncements. Oh, yeah, we will do this, we'll do that, we'll do this, we'll do that. If you go to the schools, how many schools have fire drills? You know, where are assembly points that if there is, you know, a fire alarm that people can go to?
Something so
Because of the criminal rate in our country, we have to live like prisoners in our own countries.
Mhm.
You know, you have to barricade yourself with two different window bars.
Mhm.
Then you have to put iron behind the door because you have to protect yourself. And in protecting yourself, you're locking yourself up.
A hazard. I agree with you. I agree
Yeah,
with you.
we need to step out of the box, Dr. Richards. We need to start thinking how to save our people's life. Part of disaster management, a huge part is prevention. A
Absolutely.
huge part is prevention.
Absolutely.
Equip these people in the communities. Since you cannot get trucks, equip them, give them fire extinguishers, teach
Yeah.
them what to do. You know,
Yeah.
give them equipment that they can break down doors and all of these things. That in case something is happening, they can move in.
Mhm. Yeah.
The mother had a baby clinched to her chest.
Oh my
Amen,
God.
Dr. Riches.
Eh, don't tell me.
Amen.
Mm.
To the bathroom window, gasping for air. Community dwellers are doing their best. And fire service calls after the thing was reported at 11 p.m. Then they call in at 2 a.m.
Wow. 11, 12.
2
Scary. Very scary. I don't know. My heart is heavy, Diamond. I knew it's not your intention, but thank you. Um, you talked about a fire drill. This is something that is just ingrained in where I'm at my university. As adults we service, I service adult, although there's undergraduate students, but I teach in the graduate department. As soon as we hear that bell, we're supposed to clear the building. You're not supposed to grab anything. There's a designated spot all of us are supposed to be. These are just drill, but it is as if it is real. That is one prevention that you mentioned, one prevention technique or approach that you mentioned. We all supposed to get out of the building. The securities, they come around, they check to make sure that nobody's there until we hear the bell again before we can go back in, no matter what we're doing. If we're in the middle of class, if I'm on the phone, I have to stop. And that is the prevention that you talk about. It saves life. Yeah. So I don't know. I don't know. Anyway, thank you. Thank
Yeah,
you.
I'll be in the background. You and Prince can
Yeah.
continue.
Anything else you want to add before you go in the background? Prince, yeah, we are. My heart is just too heavy to even talk too much today. Yeah.
Yeah, there was a roadblock. Traffic was blocked in Kranjida County today
Mm-hmm.
for several hours.
For
Uh,
what?
Motorcyclists blocked the main street there in Swedru City, protesting against the hike in the price of gasoline. According to our source in the county, a gallon of gasoline now has soared from 950 to 1,500 plus Liberian dollars. You know, these are scenes from Grand Jida. The police commander of Nimba County had announced on the 20th of September that the Saklepie to Zweju corridor will be
Mm-hmm.
closed due to ongoing renovation, rehabilitation works, and heavy vehicles have been banned from plying our route until the 9th of October. That's one day to elections, to allow public works to carry on their rehabilitation works. But from what we're getting from other sources is that they do not want the heavy vehicles to damage the road, because the president is to use that road to go to Grand Jida County. That again is unconfirmed. That is back chatters that we're hearing.
Yeah.
So because of the order which has been confirmed that heavy vehicles cannot use that road to connect to the southeast, these heavy vehicles are the ones carrying fuel, other cargo and much needed items.
Mm-hmm.
So because of that, the the just the less quantity or the lesser quantity of gasoline that is available on the market there, the price has been hiked from 950 to 1,500. So now the motorcyclists staged a serious roadblock today in Zwedru City, protesting against the high price of gasoline there, but the police was able to have clear them off the road. We'll be following that story, still developing to see what they will do on tomorrow, but that has affected not just the price of gasoline, but transportation as a whole and food items. Prices, have gone way up the roof due to the fact that much needed food items and cargo trucks cannot make their way using that particular corridor. So we're following up. According to the police commander there, it will
Mm-hmm.
give the public works engineer more time to rehabilitate the road. So that's another development coming from Grand Cheetah County. I'll bring you more as we, do the show, but you have other panelists on, and I'm leaving you guys to do your thing.
Thank you. Thank you. I'd like to welcome Prince Maxwell and also Dwalu to the show. Dwalu, I don't know, and Prince, I'm just all so emotional right now to even talk too much. But you guys can say what's on your mind. I'm sure I will get myself together. But just hearing about the death of uh, the family members that died in the fire is disturbing to me, and I'm also just been too busy today. The part playing a lot in how I emotionally feel. But I want to just give Prince the opportunity to just share his thoughts on what's going on, and I'm sure Stanton's going to come in very soon, and then we'll go to you, Dwalu.
Yeah. Hi, Dr. Richardson. How you doing? Dwalu, how are you? And to the our I would say to the many uh, commenters and viewers and listeners of Spoon TV, I would say hi. Today, I mean, I usually don't do this, but today is a special day for a good friend of mine, and I would like to take this time to wish him in this public forum happy birthday. His name is Dr. Abakri Ibrahim Abakri Yen.
Mm-hmm.
Today is his birthday. And I think most people in Monrovia and in Liberia as a whole uh, know him. He's one of Liberia quintessential scholar, young scholar, a good friend of mine. We've been friends for many, many years and friends to many, many intellectuals in the country. So I know that we are all wishing him all of the best, and I would just like to take this moment to wish him a happy birthday and all his best to he and his family as he continues to be a part of our continuous rebuilding process of Liberia.
Yes, let me join you in saying happy birthday to your friend. And I believe he's been on our show before, right, Prince? Yes,
Yes, I think so. That was before I got here.
yes,
Yeah.
yes. I do remember his scholarly addition to the discussion. So happy birthday to you, Doctor.
Ibrahim Abakari Yang.
Don't
And
get
he has a very good story. It's his story is the I mean, I would say it's part of the Liberian story from poverty all the way to higher education, where he has now cemented his name not just in Liberia but within the sub-region. And he was a protege of the late Amos Claudius Sawyer, and he is one of the most important figure now we have in Liberia as it pertains to decentralization and all
Mhm.
of the other issues that's attached to it. So I'm proud of him.
that he's made it this far, and he's an alumni of the AME, the African Methodist Episcopal University.
Is that right?
So, oh yeah, so we do have a lot of people that have made it. Another friend of ours again who is now out of the country, his name is Baba Sila. He's also out of the country too. He's somewhere in Japan there with he and his family. These guys are guys that would definitely be a critical part of our rebuilding process as a part of the younger generation that's trying to push Liberia to go forward. I hope that you meet him one day and have a conversation with him. You will be very, 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 very astutely surprised, believe me.
Absolutely. Well, much respect to you, Doctor, and hope you have a wonderful day. We have had a couple of exchanges via the radio talk show in Liberia, so I do remember him for that, and also via him being here on the studio on the set. So thank you.
Just to go about that, I heard the discussion about the lady and the fire and the child and the confusion and the death. Yeah. Dr. Richardson, this is a Liberian story. It's not the first of its kind in Liberia.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard to talk about because it could have been prevented. We've never gravitated towards the preventive process yet. Liberia has not reached that point where we are able to set in place systems and processes that will halt chaos, that will halt this kind of useless death and sorrow for families. We have not arrived at that stage. We are yet to sit across the table and be honest with ourselves that our system we've had over the many, many years have continuously failed us to the point where fire service system is still failing the ordinary people. That's just not the loss of life, the loss of property, the family grieving, all of those things will add up to that. And the trauma that comes after that our family will have to live with for the rest of their life. Imagining their family member die in such a way. These are the things that we're talking about. This should not be happening in a small country like Liberia when we have the resources, we have the people, we have the energy, we have the brains to help us to make these things happen, to prevent these things from happening. Once upon a time, I was having a conversation with the former Minister of Education, George Warner. He said to me, one of the most important problems in Liberia is that we don't know how to set up systems that prevents the possibility of harm. And I thought about it for years, and he's absolutely right. You can go all the way back to the Ebola, you can go all the way back to COVID, you can go all the way back to the war. All of our system at the end of the day, when they are shocked, they don't stand those shocks. They fail flat. And that is the reason why I would tell you, Dr. Richardson, I'm on this platform to talk about the idea that George Weah is not even capable of being president, because these kind of ideas, you bring it forth to him and his cabinet, they'll feel flat on understanding what does it even mean and how they are even going to go about developing such a system or a first responder system that can help our people prevent this kind of chaos, this kind of harm, this kind of hurt, this kind of pain. They don't understand that.
Yes.
And you need a government that will understand that, because we are in that era where people like us need to understand that first responder system is critical to our national security and our social development. Dwalo?
Yes. Yeah. Before Dwalo comes in, I'm hearing some of our commentators are saying, or our viewers are saying, that the radio is not on. So, Diamond, can you please check to make sure whatever the problem is? But we told you guys last week that sometimes it's going to be a on and off thing, because sometimes we're getting jammed, different things are happening, but please bear with us. It's not our intention for you not to hear us. It's just, it is what it is right now. And Dwalo, can you come in?
Thank you, Doc. Thank you so much. It's a great pleasure to be here as always. Just give me a thumbs up, Prince, if you can hear me. It's a great pleasure to be here. Thank you, brother. To the audience, as always, we didn't recognize you. My brother Bill Causing, welcome to the show. Look, Prince, I was listening to you, and one thing people have to realize, yesterday, Dr. Francine did say, we've been fooled with democracy, and sometimes we don't understand what that means. But we have to understand democracy is a participatory form of governance. Nothing is going to work in your country if you don't pursue it to work. Now, I don't want to talk about the fire issue because this is not, it's happened so many times, Doc, to the point where it's almost become normal in the country. I'll give you a quick story. You know, I take my kids home quite frequently. One time, my wife and my daughter were out at the home, and luckily, I took fire extinguishers, like a carbon monoxide detectors. I get everything is in the house. That's the only thing that blessed them. The wiring in the house was a local wire that was used. I guess it cannot withstand the temperature. Rewire the entire house.
The future.
Because the fire issue is a serious issue. But the reason why I'm saying this is in Liberia, nothing is going to work until you insist upon it. If there is no fire truck in district number 6 and you sit home and you expect fire truck to magically appear, there is something wrong with you. Like the doc said yesterday, look, listen, democracy is not what we should be practicing because we are not fully.
But you guys saying Eduardo?
No, right now I'm not seeing him right now.
I'm seeing him.
You are?
Yes. I'm
I'm
seeing
not saying Eduardo. Fago, are you saying Eduardo?
But can you hear me?
I'm hearing you too.
I'm not seeing him. Now I see him.
Oh, maybe I go in and out.
The folks are saying they're not saying who's talking.
Okay, I will soon finish. I don't know what's going on again. I hate this. But anyways, like I was saying, democracy is participatory. If you want something in your community, you have to insist upon it. President Weah's convoy has nothing less than 35 vehicles. Each of those vehicles costs about $85,000. You want me to tell me we can buy a fire truck when it costs approximately $100 a piece? We don't care about us, and nobody's going to care about you until you care about you. I'll give it back to you guys.
Thank you. Welcome, Stanton, and welcome, Mr. Fagon, to the show. I'm going to turn the show over to Stanton right now. And
No. I'm not in a good mood. Somebody must conduct the show tonight, or else it would not be good. Because
it's
seriously, no. Somebody must conduct this show tonight. If people want to understand where we're from, they must conduct the show tonight. Because a lot of things happening in the country, and I think we should just say the truth. I am not in the right state of mind because again, folks, you listen to me though. I have given an opportunity to guys on this show to conduct the show tonight. Because I come from another side. Say that?
I think you do the best job, even though sometimes a little overboard, but I think you do a great job. So we'll give it to you.
Well, let me get a full approval from everyone. I'll ask you, Eduardo, you want me to conduct the show tonight?
Yes.
All right, Dr. Richardson, do you want me to conduct the show tonight? Prince, yes. Do you want me to conduct the show tonight? Fagon, you want me to conduct the show tonight?
Why you ask me? Start laughing.
Because I'm contemplating on your answer. So I'm asking you, speak to the public. Do you want me to conduct? Because you're my secretary for different place tonight.
I abstain.
I'm saying that would be the best answer you ever gave because I'm against you totally tonight.
No problem.
Yeah. There will be no way Fagonan doing propaganda for UP, and we have issues with UP. And I want everybody to go ahead right now and just share this program because today I will speak what the Lord has laid on my heart, my body, my soul, my mind. And I will speak.
Don't lie on God and say what the devil.
No. You see, you asked me to conduct. So listen, I care less right now what people are going to say about me, but we will not let my brother can say, my friend, Prophet Key can say, we will not take frog to a beauty pageant. We will not ask for the change.
Now, Prophet Key, not your friend. Until Prophet Key calls in tomorrow, they will start talking different. They will start talking different again.
Prophet Key, my friend. Prophet Key, open my friend. But seriously, guys, I hear a lot of people, right? No, this is not a joke, Prince Maxwell. I mean, a lot of people raising money in the name of Joseph Yima Boaka and Unity Party. I'm disturbed. Every Tom, Dick, and Harry raising money in the name of Unity Party and the rescue train. Joseph Yima Boaka named one person, and that's my intro. Get fair with me, and that's why I say I will not talk to Fagon as a friend and a brother. Maybe till after the election. Everybody that get mad with me, well, we can meet after the election. We can shake hands. I don't drink. You can drink your Modelo, or we shake hands, we laugh. Text me. I will be glad to text you back. But there will be no way every Tom, Dick, and Harry must raise money in the name of JMB and Joseph Yima Boyka and the Rescue Tree and Unity Party. Folks sacrificing. I don't know whether the Dr. Clarence Mobile is doing it. I don't know whether Tewa Gonglo is doing it. I don't know whether Mr. Cummings cannot proper the money that he raised in the right format. I want to hear from Unity Party folks tonight. That's my first issue. I'm going to go after every political party because we are asking for the change. We cannot beat on George Manawia, and people want to do same. No. You cannot be sitting out in Minnesota raising money and nobody know where the money going. And you start raising in the name of Joseph Boyka. Joseph Boyka named John Malou. That every payment should go through John Malou. You cannot be in Europe raising money in the name of Joseph Boyka and the money cannot reach to the rescue train of Joseph Boyka. If I'm wrong, you gotta tell me. If I'm wrong, I got 30 seconds. Do not interrupt me tonight. That's why I'm not even looking your way. Do not interrupt me. I got 30 seconds, or I will start with my 1 minute over. Because you got folks that Fagon saying that they are propagandists. They can chase the stone that is rolling down and gathering mud. But don't forget, rolling stone gather no mud. You cannot ask for the change and bid on the change you are asking for. Every weekend, somebody will raise money in the name of Joseph Boyka. Every weekend, somebody will raise money in the name of Rescue Train. So I come to tell you, my fellow Liberians, we will fight for the change. It can be CPP. We beat on CPP in this place. Dr. Richardson, we chase you guys, a global network of CPP Global. The division that came between the Chicago CPP and the California CPP and the North Carolina CPP and the Philadelphia CPP. We beat on them. Why can't we beat on Unity Party, Prince Maxwell? People raising 25,000 by the same 5,000. I want to speak to Kappa Dwayne. I will call names tonight. I will call names tonight, folks. Because I see people ready to raise one of the biggest amount ever. I mean, not CPP, but Unity Party ready to raise, do a fundraiser for Protect Your Vote, and the pool riding something. We should ask the question. Where is the money going? We should be transparent, Eduardo. We should tell the people the truth. And I would not sit here. I would not sit back because it says Stanton. No. Forget about the Stanton name. So the last 10 seconds I got left, Eduardo. I know I make you uneasy, but I got some information that is very, very, very important for Liberian to listen to tonight. And I will speak in that direction. And nobody will stop me. No one should stop me because Liberia deserves better. To my second point, we got a lot of information from the National Election Commission. It may surprise you what we're about to show you tonight concerning the National Election Commission. And I will say this, my third point before I go and I rest. I don't care who drinking water in the alley, drinking hot tea. You can be drinking cold water in the alley, drinking hot tea. I care less. But let's discuss the issue. My point here is that for everybody to understand that there will be no way you can tell your political leader have captured or counted. I've seen a lot of people saying Buchanan have fallen. They won't have fallen. Let's talk about the issue tonight. Which county can you give your political leader that is 100% in your political leader corner? That you're not shaking and say, yes, Joseph Yima Boyka will carry Lofa, Mr. Cummings will carry Maryland, Tewan Gonglo will carry half for Nimba and half for bombing. Let's have the discussion and I rest with my 2 minutes. My last 5 seconds left, I will hold back because I want to stay back. So let's have this discussion. Dr. Richardson, I don't know who you're going to. I believe Maxwell spoke, Dualu spoke, so you can call the other person I have not spoken yet. I'm not calling that name.
Nobody spoke about what you just spoke about.
No, everybody get that 2 minutes, right?
No, but nobody spoke about what you just spoke about. You spoke about the.
Well, somebody gave that 2 minutes. Somebody here waiting to get that 2-minute intro. And Prince Maxwell gave his intro. Dualu gave his intro.
No.
Who else left?
No.
Oh no.
We're just having a warm-up conversation.
Not because you're late doesn't mean we're gonna cut you in the quarters. You're late.
Okay, no problem. Okay, no, I thought you guys did because
you're on fire today. You're on fire today, but you didn't party.
Prince, it's not right, Prince. It's just not right. We are asking for change.
But I cannot respond to that.
Yeah, please go ahead, somebody.
Yes, the first thing, Stanton. You're saying something that Honorable Baga has absolutely no control over, nor does he know about. Anybody can stay in Timbuktu and raise money and claim to be raising about Honorable Boykai. It doesn't mean he's privy to the information now. If they're not submitting that money and they've gotten approval
from the to interrupt you, I'm not putting it on Honorable Boykai, Tuadu.
Oh no,
I'm not putting it on Honorable Boykai.
Yes. The very people that are raising the money, they should turn the money over if they're using Honorable Boykai's name. Hey, Sarah, how you doing, Mama? They're using Honorable Boykai's name. That's not right.
Why would Sarah come on the show and speak to you, Tuadu? Who is Sarah to you? Yeah, just Sarah follow you everywhere you go. Like everywhere you go, Sarah follow you. Who is? By the way, let's get back to the conversation. No, because it's same way with Fadiga. 1 hour following Fadiga. Everywhere Fadiga go, hour from Canada will go.
I don't even know who she is. I recognize her when I recognize me. But listen, Stanton, let me say this. On the issue of people raising money, but this is common. Whenever your name becomes something people can gravitate towards, people will exploit it. It's expected. It's normal. But I don't think the UP organization is pretty aware of this. But I also want to hold the UP organization responsible. If they know this is happening, they have to address it very aggressively. That's what I'm going to say to that and give it back to Doc.
You know, I haven't thought about this. Vice President Boykai knew very well when these fundraisers were happening. One, it happened when he was here. Okay. Number 2, there was a big announcement made in Monrovia about Yombly's birthday party and how the money was going to go over to the United Party's campaign. In fact, John Malu spoke about that when he was here. So I understand, Dualu, that there are some fundraising events that he's not going to feel accountable for, like maybe small issues. But the bigger one, where big announcements were made, he was there, he was present, he acknowledged them. I think it is his obligation to follow up, to ask what happened. You cannot just say, oh, money was raised and don't have no transparency and accountability and step back from it. So I think that he had control over those at least 3 events that I know of.
So before we go to Prince Maxwell and the other guy from the other side, let me say this real quick. It's important for me to say this. I also want to add to the discussion tonight that D. Max Kamaya went to Equatorial Guinea to go beg for money for George Manawia. We have the whole document. All right, he left on Saturday. The men that couldn't come to America because they stopped him, they banned him, and he lied and said he was in the UK. But he's in Equatorial Guinea. He should be leaving tomorrow, the 26th, coming back home. We'll read his letter. He begged him for money to the son of the president of Equatorial Guinea. He said, Joe, we are saying to beg for money for election. But we'll discuss it later. Prince, let's talk about the issue that is at hand.
Look, the issue that I had, one thing that is clear there is that, you know, simple and short, this is a United Party in-house problem. Let's be honest about it, right? I was on this show when Honorable Malu appeared and tried to bring calm and direction to that problem, because the problem was existing before Honorable Malu took over. The fact that it's existing even after he took over is a problem. But I'm not going to, squeeze it right now, because it's an in-house problem. It does not affect Liberia right now, in my perspective. But I just hope that the United Party will get an act together and will resolve this issue, because people are watching and people are definitely taking note of that. I hope it doesn't spill over into the bigger picture of the United Party. And you're absolutely right, Standard, to be mad, because the United Party should be setting standard, especially in the sense that they should be having all of these things together. But it's an in-house issue right now. That's why I'm going to leave it.
Thank you. Minister Fagon.
Well, greetings to all of you. And I could, the moment you raised the issue, Dr. Francine started laughing like it was the best thing that ever happened in her lifetime. Yeah, you know, they beat on ANC.
I have had better. Trust me.
Today your time. But you see, when you raise an issue like this, and you call one person in Capadoin, and you talk about campaign financing or campaign funding, and you want the Liberian people to believe that the discussion should be centered on people using the situation of the popularity of the front runner in these elections, now guaranteed to be the next president of this republic. The most expedient thing as the consultant appointed by the standard bearer, especially on communication and strategy, is to tell you that if you have your evidence, we're open when you produce them to discuss them. In the absence of your evidence and you're preying on speculation,
that's skin talk.
We can only
that's skin talk.
See.
That's 419 talk. That's skin talk. When you see skin talk, when you hear skin talk, you know skin talk.
Then the man
that's skin talk.
Nobody will interrupt him.
Remy, with the power vested in me, that's skin talk.
He's talking like
exactly. That's what Rachel see. That's skin talk.
You hear me?
Look at your body behavior.
Yeah, that's skin talk. That's skin talk.
I can talk now.
Pago, are you part of it?
I can't talk now.
Pago, are you part of it? Did you eat some of the money?
Everybody's supposed to get a turn to talk.
Oh, go ahead, Todd. You're right. Go ahead. I take it back. Go ahead.
Thank God today's stand and say, all right. You told your I'm talking my you won't kill me. Look at the way Remy Gray looking. I have to say, yeah, he there. Yeah, he there where? Wait for your time. Wait for your time. What we want to say is that a party that buys 250 pickup trucks to run campaign and a police force that have less than 25, a party that buys 250 motorbikes, and a country police force with less than 25 motorbikes. We're talking about campaign funding and campaign financing. Beating on ANC leader / CDC auxiliary, or beating on the CDC auxiliary called the ANC for taking all the Airbnb all over the place. My dear brother, our focus remains the focus of the Liberian people, and that is the liberation of their country from being a narco state, taking in $100 million worth of drugs, $40 million worth of drugs coming through everywhere, the same sign that you were screaming, Stanton, making sure that they arrest the guy. Last night, the man disappeared from the prison. He disappeared. Does that concern you? That is what concerns the Liberian people. So even in America, they just got Menendez. No, don't do that. They just got Democratic Senator of New Jersey, Menendez, with gold bars and money. People will always exploit situation, but at the end of the day, what matters is that the Liberian people have said, JMB, take our country from this drug baron, this ritualistic killers, this man with extrajudicial killings, and the most kleptocratic government in our nation history. And our focus remains. Change the topic to the focus.
Listen, Fago, you are free to propagate for your new party. You are free to celebrate your new Senate bearer. No. You did it. You are free. You are free to celebrate. You are free to celebrate with your new political party, your new stand-up bearer, your new chairman. You are free.
You laugh. That you, in fact, you call me to New Jersey. Turner.
Breaking news.
Call me to New Jersey. Breaking news.
Yeah, come on.
Yes. That means you were in a car. He said, I want to make peace between you and me.
And what happened after that? Okay. Oh, you what? Yeah.
Oh, Lord. Don't mind, folks.
Yeah, your uncle Remy Gray who say you want to give me MIPA to eat to join ANC. Now MIPA will maybe join ANC.
Very true. Stay to your United Party.
Very good. Listen, everything Fagon saying, you know, he tried to cover up. But the serious issue we're going to get at, this is just prelude of our conversation tonight. Who stole the cookies from the cookies jar?
Number 18.
Jar?
What you know about me talking?
Who stole that cookies?
Number 18.
You know what actually making me mad, Remy? This is not about JMB. Let's be serious for once. This is about folks using the name JMB, that our brother Eduardo said, to raise money. Right now, I can say to you, I'm here, but people saying enough in Charlotte. They have raised money, and they're looking which group to give the money to. Every little folks up there group raising money. I know exactly why I call the name Capadoin. I know exactly why I call that name. And I will explain why I call the name. It's okay to raise money in the name of the party. Like Unity Party going to be doing on Spoon Talk on Wednesday to protect the vote for the polling station. It's okay. They pay Spoon Talk. They pay Madam Titi. They want to raise the money. They will come and raise the money. As per certain conditions. Who coming to raise the money? Would there be John Modu there? If there is no John Modu, nobody going to raise money. Daughter, you get what I'm saying before we even go to Remy Gray? Because John Modu was appointed by JMB himself, sent all funding to him. Transparency 101. So if there's no John Modu, don't talk about raising money.
And I agree. It's somehow illegal here in America as well, especially if you're raising money in that fashion. There must be some structure there. You can just unilaterally raise money on your own accord. So, some legal issue come to play there. But what I want to say is, I think the UP organization has to organize better to make sure they don't have these kind of little things going on, because it discredits the organization. That's what I would say about that. But I don't think Honorable Baga has a lot. He has to control that. By the end of the day, you're the leader. You got to control that.
And by the end of the day, if Fago can stay here and Joe, we can live before we go to Remy Gray. I mean, it's the fact. We don't want to walk the same walk. We don't want.
I'm not joking, Stephen.
And you know, at the end of the day, people that raise money, JMB said sending money to John Malou. The Unity Party, the rescue team, they want to raise money for the pool washers. Good idea. CPP will do the same thing. LPP going to do the same thing. But how are you guys raising the money? Somebody said, put in my private cash app. Can you imagine? Put in my private Zelle. Seriously? But I gave Eddie the chance to talk. Eddie, come on.
You know, maybe we need to find out what Fangon and Al Hussein, they raised money in Minneapolis on the party's behalf. Where they took that money, I don't know. But let's.
They raise money?
Oh yeah, they came here to raise money.
Wow.
I think it was in excess of $5.
Me and he never raised money. We got nothing together. So don't.
Well,
I'll try again one more time.
Well, you guys are the fundraiser. I mean, the digital print footprints are all over the place there. But
Right.
let me say this. This is why we say the Unity Party got so many hustlers hanging on that boat. You know, when people are calling a train, I call it a gravy train. Everybody wants to hang on that train, because it just shows that they're not there yet. People are beginning to raise money on their own individually. You know, when $70,000 got missing from the CPP, I'm gonna jump on it. But now nobody wants anybody to jump on this stinger that just hit the Unity Party. But Fangon can say we are auxiliary of the CDC. You know, they've sold all kinds of messages. Stay on course. You can call us one. But the thing that we are in this to support the CDC, you got to be out of your mind. If we cannot,
No. If you are in, I will not call you
no, my
auxiliary.
friend. If we cannot collaborate with you, cannot collaborate with the CPP, the CDC that you joined to take Alex to court, you more or less connive with the CDC and give them some oomph for them to move forward. We haven't done any of that, but you know what?
That's exactly our fear, that when you bring this organization back to power, the people are resolved that they're not going to go back to 18 years ago where Unity Party was in power, or 6 years ago when because of Unity Party's performance, CDC came into being. The people are resolved. They're not going to go back there. You can make all your mind that the people are resolved to bring back the last 18 years. That's your imagination. The people are resolved that they're not going to go back to any of those struggle days. This group of people, they're not in power yet. They start collecting money here and there. That's robbery. You can't be doing that. And probably the owner is not aware of it. That's why I would say, if you say he's not aware of it, well, that's exactly what we're saying. A lot of things will go on when he's president of the Republic of Liberia, when that he's not going to be aware of, and people will take advantage because of his age. That's exactly why we're making the case. Don't bring somebody who is not aware of his surroundings. The
Thank you
woman.
That's
very
not the
much,
same
Eddie.
thing. Stop that. That's not the
Thank,
same
thank
thing.
you.
Oh,
Thank,
yes.
thank you, Eddie. Let me say this, folks. Let's start with this conversation because I'm waiting for the spokesperson of the rescue train, Muhammad Ali. He will be joining us shortly, and he can address this issue. Because you know why? Liberians need to understand. But first thing, before we get to D Max Kamaya, folks, you got the document though. Is this concerning to you? If not, we can move on. It's in the chat room, and I believe you have it also, Mr. Dualu. D Max Kamaya traveled to Equatorial Guinea, and they are asking for the full assistance and blessing from that government fundings. Likewise, for George Manuel and his campaign. Is it concerning to you, Prince Maxwell? I believe you are reading the letter. We're not
Well,
hearing you, Prince.
well, let me just say this. Team Maxwell Kimia is doing a job that's been assigned to him by the president at this point. Whether he goes to Guinea-Bissau, go to South Africa, or wherever the case might be, the fact is what he's doing right now does it in any way jeopardize Liberian security? Does it in any way jeopardize the election? We know fully well that his absence at the UNGA with the president and the current unstable situation at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs threatens Liberia directly. So right now, what we need to be very concerned about is the fact that Maxwell Kimia is going around the world, not taking on the responsibility that he needs to take on, that Liberians really, that the taxpayers of Liberia are paying for. He's doing personal errands for the president. And right now, the things that Liberian people really need to pay attention to, he's not paying attention to, and their ministry that they are giving him to take care of is falling right before their feet. That is why it's very, very concerning to me. That is why it's very, very concerning to Dr. Modiba. That is very well concerning to Liberian people. We know fully well that whatsoever he's been discussing right now in Guinea-Bissau, where he is right now, or anywhere for that matter, at the end of the day, he will have to be accountable to Liberian people. Yes, most people would think that because he works for the president, he's accountable to the president. At the end of the day, history will judge him. History will decide his fate, and he has to be accountable to Liberian people, whether he elects or not.
Wow. Thank you. Fagon, this letter, because we got to brush on everything, we have a lot going on. Fagon, this letter that D-Max is going to ask for personal assistance. If you read the letter, you'll understand. From the son of the president. That which make it interesting now. From the son of the president. And they're also asking that individual should also finance D-Max trip back to Liberia. As per this document. We are getting the itinerary of D-Max coming here because indeed you know your June is out there, Fagon. We are getting all this information. Talk to us.
Well, Stanton, we got a lot of time. So let me delve on this matter so that at the end of the day, when you ask me, I can come in with the other matter. But Theodore Obiang Nguema Mbasogo is the president of Equatorial Guinea, a very notorious authoritarian leader. I said authoritarian because that's what he's noted for. He's been there forever. His son, after school, he appointed as the vice president of the country, who is also called Teodoro Obiang Nguema Mangue, Mangue. And so President Weah discussed with Mbasogo, who is the president, to get this money as far as my June is concerned. Not only monies, but also arms, we are told. Now, you and I will agree that Kimia said he wrote the letter that he was going to London to do something. When you stand up for your boy in the whole people in Chakla, he wrote another letter and said he had to undergo an emergency what? Surgery. The 20,000 they sent, the person who handed him the money got annoyed because he is so mean. He didn't take us and say, oh, y'all take the one for your right here. He took the money, shopping for Finabono, shopping for Koji and others, and carried it back to London, put it on board the private jet of George Weah, flew it into Monrovia, and the jet came back. Here is the whole story. Obasanjo told him to avoid money laundering. You have to make it look, this is what you call a note verbal. What you put on the screen. There it is. Make it look like you sending your foreign minister to deliver a personal message to me. And in that message, ask me to facilitate his trip back. Instead of then doing that, he wrote this stupid letter that you begging for money, which has to do with bank transaction. Now, in order for him to go back, the second secretary, I think I got the message somewhere that was sent to me. The secretary to Mangu, who is the son of Mbasogo, communicated with him and said, no, this is not how it was meant to be. You have to do it the right way. So it is this note verbal now that has leaked. But Kimia was forced to go on time. Now they had to do a new one, which they've kept secret. On his way back, he is expected to bring the money and the guns. But because we have started blowing trumpet on it, the private jet is to go there. He's responsible to refuel it. And whatever comes on that jet, diplomatic immunity. But the U.S. has its eyes on it, and we don't know what's going to happen after that. Why is he doing that? What has he done? He cannot get the money now from the group that they overthrew in Gabon or whatsoever. He can. Democratic Republic of Congo. It's over. Ali Bongo is over. There's no money coming from there. That was his second best friend. His third best friend is Mickey Sall. As far as I'm concerned, Chawea had three best friends. Mbasogo, Mickey Sall, and Ali Bongo. And Ali Bongo out of the picture. So that's where we are right now. He's spending massive sums of money, but the people do not want him still.
Thank you very much, Fagon. Thank you, folks. Dama, is the station on? I don't know why they're saying the station off. The station is...
They can call it off if Fagon speaking.
Yeah, the station is on. So
the station is on, but it's just being
Dama.
jammed, and it's beyond our control, but the station is on.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes, the station is on. Dama, thank you for putting it up there, Spoon TV. You got to put the frequency. I see it says Spoon FM 107.5. Folks, we can do what we can do, because if you have other folks that jam in the station, it will be a problem. But again, we'll manage through. Okay, we have been relay on other network. So right now, the station is on. Alfonso Medin saying the station is on, and everybody's saying the station is on. Thank you. Let's just monitor it, because Joe will do everything he can for this message not to get out there. But again, Duadu, let me hear from you, then we'll flip to the other conversation real quick on this
I
issue.
want this clarity to be made. Honorable Baga had no control of whatever money was raised anywhere else in the world. This was not under UP's control. People were doing their own things out there, and there are no controls over there. But I would say this: Equatorial Guinea, first of all, it's illegal under Liberian law to go solicit funds in other locations to fund your election campaign. And there's a reason why President Weah is doing that. President Weah continues to flaunt the laws in Liberia. He knows the son of the president of Equatorial Guinea. If you guys remember, in Europe, They seized his property. They seized a lot of things. This guy was literally taking the country's money and behaving as though he had loose money everywhere. And President Weah recognizes this. He said, listen, I go get some loose money from this guy. Because CDC's entire intent is to pay people to come and do things for them. The revenue capacity in Liberia is not generating sufficient money to keep throwing money away. Now they are running out of money. And I hope they continue to run out of money every way possible so we can kick these people out of our country. President Weah is a danger to this country. Something must be done. And if it's running out of money, it's going to help her in that case. I'm all for it. I'll give it back to you, Stanton.
Thank you very much. We'll take one more person, but let's recognize Fadiga. Then we'll take one more person, and then we have to move to the next conversation. Dr. Richardson, you want to come in on this?
Yes, I hope I speak without being interrupted. It's good try, Dwalu, for backtracking what you said earlier. President Boka is solely responsible for the fundraising events that were held that he was aware of. The one of them that will be in Minnesota, and the other one that was well publicized was the birthday of Senator Yumley. That was announced here by John Molu, who said that he was not aware of any of the money that was collected so far. This is about accountability. We speak about holding George Weah accountable all the time. We should hold our leaders who are in the position of getting elected to lead our country accountable as well. They're no different. Something that Mr. Cummings says all the time, the best predictor of a future behavior is the past behavior. If we're not holding Vice President Boka accountable right now, if he's acting like he's unaware, let the chips fall where it might be, then he is just as accountable. My brother here, Fakon, can talk about Airbnb and CPP and all of that, but as a distraction, but failed to hold his own party, a party which he was selected upon to serve recently as media person. Responsible. He wants to bring in the issue about Menendez, who was just in a senator in New Jersey. We know that Menendez is going to be processed. As a matter of fact, the media is on it. We know that he may not get the full weight of the law, but he's in the process. Can we say that the same thing? Can we say the same thing about Liberia? Can we say the same thing about the United Party? No. Lastly, about Kamaya. Kamaya should be the poster professional person for Liberia. I don't want to use the word poster boy, but for lack of a better word, he should be the one that when people see his face, they see Liberians. He should be advocating for us. He should be advocating for our policies. He should be advocating for people in Liberia and abroad. But he's not doing it. He's acting as a little gopher for George Weah. Gopher to go to collect money for George Weah. That's not what the Liberian people are paying him for. He's not collecting Liberian people's revenue or donors' revenue to be serving as a gopher person to deliver special messages. What in the world is a special message? If you read that text, it says he will deliver a special message from the president of George Weah. What is that? We as Liberians, we need to know what that special message is. And okay, I'll stop here because I made some those and I'm losing my
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Can I make a suggestion to you, Stanton? Can I make a suggestion?
Yes, Fagon, you go ahead first.
You may not do this round, but when a speaker is speaking, we got 2 weeks to an election. If, for instance, she makes a charge and mention my name, that person should be given 30 seconds to answer to that charge. Or
that's respond. Necessary. That's true. That's necessary.
Because she just
so guys, so this is what we're going to do now. This is how we're going to do. Dr. Richardson, hold on now. He just suggested something, but I think it's very important that when you bring somebody in, give them 30 seconds to respond. So let's do this. On this issue, because we got to move to the other issue very quick, you can use your time wisely to use 30 seconds on your own time and the rest of it on somebody else you want to challenge. Okay? Fadiga, let's hear you. Then we'll go to Ever Gray.
I'm going to say is I like how Dr. Richardson puts it. Best indicator of future performance is past behavior. And we have seen those indicators when it comes to Mr. Cummings. Here's a man that $70,000 high-end money that people put together mysteriously disappeared. He was silent, never said anything. Here's a man that have shown the Liberian people that he have chosen his right now soon to be field aspiration over the general good of the country. Here's a man that have proven to not be as patriotic that seems from every indication seem to be have never one day raising his finger or raising his voice against one of the most notorious president of our time. I've never seen him campaigning or saying anything. His entire campaign has been bent on destroying the only man that is poised to win this election. And that's how you know feature indicators that he is in it for his stakeholders, those shareholder that he would be holding to, and he want to be for which he wants to be elected. So I do agree with Dr. Richardson when you say the best predictor of future performance is past performance. This is what we have to show for the Cummings and his team. So I just thought I would say that before we move on to the next story.
You got 30 seconds, Eddie Gray. Then we gotta jump in. We got a lot to discuss. Talk to us real quick because you spoke already. But hold on, guys. Guys, hold on. You will be given your time. Use your time wisely to respond. Eddie, your 30 seconds, my brother.
You know, it's amazing that a young man like Fadiga will have selective amnesia. The fact that the 70K will pursue whoever stole the money and went across our border, and that individual is before the law. So not only did Mr. Cummins, take on that issue, the fact that the person that was responsible is being persecuted right now, that is as far as that can go. And to come back and say Mr. Cummins has not bamboozled the president. Mr. Cummins was one of the most vocal critics of Mr. Weir. Nobody, I mean, when Ambassador Joseph Boca was mute, sitting there across his living room in ELW or wherever he lives, Mr. Cummins was the only clarion voice in the opposition that were bruising Mr. Weir helter skelter. So I would assume that Mr. Fadiga, suffers from some level of amnesia, maybe selective. It shows that it's deliberate. Regarding Mr. Weir and this gentleman named Kimaya, let's not forget that Mr. Weir finance came from Burkina Faso. That area now is under scrutiny. So all these
Thank
guys
you.
that were all these guys that were financing him, they gone under for now.
Thank
So
you.
he's going to find somewhere to source his campaign.
Thank you very much, and thank you, Eduardo, for reminding us
Can
for the
I?
time. Let me go back to Prince. I'm coming to you. You got to hold on, Prince. I'm begging you. We got a lot of story coming up, and we really got to serve our audience right here. I like what Fagon said. Give on your time, use it wisely, and address issues that is of concern to you. Dualu, our second conversation is this. The Kamaya issue finished. You want to come back to it? That's fine. We know Kamaya went to hustle for job. We are. But this thing, is it concerning to you now? The United States Honor Secretary, Deputy Assistant Secretary for West African Affairs Health traveled to Liberia. What you say? You've been reading this. Talk to us about the importance of his visit to Liberia during this time.
Look, Stanton, one thing I would say is this. We cannot expect to have a sovereign government and then we are over shallow in literally everything we do. That sends a powerful message. When you see the Americans, the Europeans are coming to our country, literally for verification purposes, it means they don't trust the sitting government. What bothers me is not the fact that they are coming to Liberia, it's the fact that they don't expect the government to do what they told the government to do or what they are funding for the government to do. If you guys remember last year, the American ambassador literally came out and said, listen, all the money we are putting into the health sector, it's actually not going to the health sector. He traveled across the country and he made it very clear. There were locations in Sano and Grand Coup County, location in Grand Gide that had absolutely no medication in these hospitals, and the Americans were pumping money there. They can't trust that we are going to do right by our people under this administration. President, we are, and I think he doesn't care. But that's the most important thing. He does not have the capacity to understand the length of and breadth of the responsibilities of the office he holds. So it's going to burden the entire country. I'll give it to you, Stanton.
Thank you very much. The same thing to you, Prince. The importance of his visit to Liberia, sir.
I think I would say this. I've never really said this about the Americans before, but I would say this. I don't think his visit is only as important as the statement he will make after he meets the people he needs to meet in Liberia, and he had the conversation that he needs to have with the people in Liberia. That is what is going to make his visit very, very important. Simply because we are tired of the mirror dressing statements sometimes American officials make when they come to the country. We know fully well that Liberian people look up to the US Embassy and the Americans when it comes to a certain standard. to provoke the government to pivot their way into positive governance, not bad governance. We know that very, very well. The idea that the US delegation right now, specifically headed by this deputy secretary, will be looking at Liberia's relations and the election, sends a very strong signal of what they intend to bring to the table to have a discussion with the government of Liberia. We know fully well they'll be talking about ritualistic killings. We know fully well they'll be talking about corruption. We know fully well they'll be talking about the issue of the drugs. We know fully well they'll be talking about the issue of the rigging, the possibility of rigging in the country. We know that they'll be talking about the possibility of electoral violence. We know these things, right? They will be talking about this thing in terms of US-Liberia relations. We know that. But the statement that will be made after will be the critical point for them to be able to point a clear signal to Liberian people. And quickly to Remy's statement, I do agree with you that Cummings was one of the persons that was in the vanguard of criticizing President Weah. But I want us to be very, very clear that Dr. Moniba as well made it very, very clear that George Weah should resign. So Mr. Cummings is not the only person. Dr. Moniba was also there criticizing and asking the Weah administration to leave the presidency because he was failing Liberian people.
Thank you very much. Fago, can you come on this?
Feedback. The feedback is very bad. I think we all need to mute when one person is speaking. Just a recommendation because the feedback.
No, yeah, you're right. I'm sorry. The windows are closing. That's the feedback you're getting from me. Fago, can you come in while I mute myself, please?
Thank you. And before I speak to the American issue, Dr. Francine, the reason why we hold George Weah accountable is because it's state money. The reason why we spoke about Cummings is because it was money from his direct campaign. Now, Joseph Barker has a website called joebarker.com. If money goes there and it gets missing, he's responsible. If 5 Liberians in Tennessee right now raise money on their own and decide to do something with it, I don't think it's in your interest to hold him responsible. First of all, you don't even know who raising the money. They are not tied to the campaign. It's their only goodwill they want to do. So how can you hold him responsible? There is a difference between state fund being misapplied, misused, or stolen, and that of campaign funds, if it is directly from the campaign. Now people go say that in their susu money, then you say you hold him. You don't even know them. Now,
well, before you proceed, though, I will give you your time. I will give you the remainder of your time. Can I ask you a question, though? Yes. It's very important, Fagon. Seriously. If Standard is raising money in the name of Eugene Lamy Fagon project, Maxwell is raising money in the name of Eugene Fagon project, don't you think it is concerning for your office to reach out and say, guys, what's going on here? Especially when you know Stanton and you know Maxwell?
Aha! That is why when you mentioned the name Copper Doyen, I said to you, present your facts. In the absence of that, we are at a critical point of 2 weeks, 15 days to an election. And I think it would be a distraction to argue over something that we cannot see, hear about, or know about. You have just provided a document. I'm ready to debate this because I can see it. But they say Copper Doyen ain't money. It's a waste of our time on the campaign.
We
because
also
we are leading by double
digits. So I understand you are leading by triple digits. But my argument here is that, are you considering a waste of time when throughout Copper Doyen, not only Copper Doyen, a lot of folks out there that I know, that I can give the names out. I got text messages and information. That's most of them will raise money. And the money not even going to Liberia. JMB know nothing about the money. The party chairman, Reverend Tapper, knows nothing about the money. And when you ask everybody, they say, we don't know. But these people, again and again, they're raising money in the name of the mighty JMB and Unity Party and Rescue Train. So should we not ask questions?
I think
this issue because we got 2 weeks to election, Fagon?
As an official of the campaign, that's why I said to you, when you raise the issue and provide us the fact, as a mature political institution, we'll delve immediately into it. But on the most prominent and the most popular network in the nation, with 15 days to go, and we have found the law about this whole election thing. We have found a loophole. We saw all the different things. We come to say, they say, Stanton, provide our campaign with the information you have and wait for our reaction. Let's go.
You ask me to provide, if I provide, I don't get very.
That's why we say, please provide it to the campaign.
Okay.
So let's deal with the issues that
Go
we
ahead.
have that is physical
so
now.
Yeah, that Fagon and Dwalu asked me to provide evidence. If I provide evidence, it's because they asked me. Dwalu and Fagon said I'm going to provide evidence. So I just want to remind you. Go ahead.
Yes.
Okay.
Now, with what you have shown.
Don't text me. You've not said open it. Please don't send me text to stop me. I'm begging you. Go ahead. You see? The man calling me already. You see? Go ahead, Fagon. I know you're going to call me. Go ahead, Fagon.
Remember, two hands was showing to you how my head to call you.
Go ahead, man.
Now, what the people can say to the show for, because you can entertain them. But, Stanton, on a very serious note, the Americans monitor this station. If they want, they can come and take me to jail. If they want, they can do whatever they want to do to me. I have always advised the Americans, because my mother is, my children are, my brothers and sisters all are, biologically, the Americans know me. I give them an advice. If they don't follow it, that's it. Today in West Africa, we see Burkina Faso, we see Guinea, and since they did this to Sierra Leone, we see Wagner creeping in there. I am saying to you, we see Niger, we see Mali. In Liberia, it's not different, except that Wagner have not reached there. The Liberians saw the Americans send over 200 observers. They have been there now for more than 2 months. The Europeans have done the same. You said hire other Africans to come in. The Americans, the American Assistant Secretary of State for Africa is coming in. They have seen everything that we're pointing to. Many Liberians know that there have been several violations, and many Liberians are believing that special interest in Washington, big business people interested in the iron ore, Asilombito, Western Cluster, the gold and the diamonds, the monies in the country. As such, knowing that we cannot win, many Liberians believe that the Americans would allow George Weah to steal this election. I repeat, it is the belief. I didn't say it is a fact. If the Americans sit down and allow this election to be rigged, I did not say the election will be rigged, and allow it with 200 observers on the ground, with everybody in the country, with everything they see going on, if the Liberian people commit to the unforeseen circumstance and liberate their country, America, hear me and hear me well. I am one of the very few persons that is brave to tell you the truth. You will never be the father of that small nation again. We see it around us. We see what happened in Burkina Faso. We've seen what happened in Mali. We have seen what happened in Guinea. It's all over. America should take her rightful place. I believe that is the reason why this Assistant Secretary of State, Mr. Heath, is making his way to Monrovia. You saw the focus of his meetings. And if America allows things to happen that will not be right, again, I warn.
Let me interrupt you, because again, folks got to come in and speak about this Reagan thing. And I want to also find a place and a time. So I'm begging everybody, use your 1 minute. Let's talk about this election and the Reagan aspect. Why am I saying this? Dr. Richardson. Let's talk about this thing. Everybody holding the ground. Everybody capturing the counters. Everybody saying my political leader I captured Lo-Fi. Oh, the Southeastern region. This, that, whatsoever. If there will be no Reagan, if CDC saying they will not rig the election, UP saying they will not rig the election, why are we having this who? If I go just ask for evidence that somebody trying to rig the election because the National Election Commission chairperson saying she will give this document when it is ready. So Fagon, Hussein, Remy Gray, Prince Maxwell, Mr. Duadu, Dr. Richardson, I will bring in Mo Ali, the spokesperson for the rescue train. What's going on? What's the fear? Why people are all into the feelings about election rigging? Let's have this conversation now. Oh, Dr. Richardson gone. So then let me bring in Eddie. Eddie, let me start with you because your sister just went off, I think mistakenly. What people are afraid about it, somebody will rig the election and threat that have been made that presidential candidates say if you rig the election, we do this. Political leaders say you rig the election, the country will burn. Would there be election Reagan in Liberia, Remy Gray? Why people are so afraid?
They now call our radio station off the poll reporting it again.
Let me announce this. Spoon FM 107.5 is on. Fabric FM is off because of maintenance. They just took it down. The rain went into the antenna or something. Super FM is off because the rainwater went into the antenna. The only one that is on is Spoon and all the relays. So I hope you understand. But just manage somehow and get a Spoon FM 107.5. Tomorrow we will be on all three radio stations.
They meant for Sano, that wish thing right there. How to a radio station without going there, stay there, tenor.
But I don't get a brother from here back. Yeah.
You wish right you come for you to talk.
And folks, we will be going live. We can confirm also. I will hold you right there, Mr. Eddie Gray. This thing when you come on the show is happening. We can confirm also that right now at the National Election Commission, they are offloading the election material that just arrived in the country. Right now, Dama, can you come on and find a way that we go live from that end? They are offloading the trucks right now at the back of the National Election Commission fence. They are offloading the truck that brought in the election material. Damo, do we have you? Damo Slanger. All right. So we can confirm that right now they are offloading.
Yes, sir. I'm here.
Damo, can you give us come on live, Damo. Come in the picture. Can you give us update right now? Because I believe the Spoon guys are there. It's sensitive. Security folks are all over. Talk to us, Damo. What are you getting from our reporter?
So we have our guys stationed around the NEC. 3 trucks are currently offloading ballot materials. The streets have been barricaded, blocked off. We cannot go live from there because it is a sensitive, situation. The security there is tense, and for the safety of my crew as well, we have to keep it as it is and just be giving the information as it filters in.
So we have our reporter there. We've been following this information thanks to our folks here on set. That can you put up the picture? This is real time, and we have to really show the people what we have and what we are saying. Liberians, right now, some of the election material, not all of it, some of it have arrived. To be exact, all right. They are offloading the truck right now. We are about to show you the truck right now. Hold on 1 minute. They are offloading those trucks, as you can see. There you go.
These are the 3 trucks.
3 trucks and more to come at the back of the election commission, but they have barricaded both ends, and our guys cannot go in. But once we start getting more pictures, then I'm gonna tell the guys to take picture. We are not looking at election material. We are looking at just the trucks, and those are standing there, so we can take picture if we allow. But do everything you can. We just want to tell our folks, as you can see, some of the election material have arrived at the national headquarters of the election commission, and there you have it. Those trucks have been offloaded. We want to say thank you, and our guys will be posted till we can come up with some pictures and other information. Dama, I know you will be on top of this story. Thank you very much. We were talking to somebody Eddie left. The election rigging. Let's start the conversation. What's your Eddie is back. Thank you, Eddie. Election rigging. Start the conversation with us. What people are so afraid?
Well, let me go back to just give me 30 seconds for that Russian U.S. Undersecretary of State for African Affairs, especially visiting Liberia. I think we have to see the geopolitical situation right now. Ever since the death of Yevgeny Prigozhin, the Wagner leader who died in the plane crash, Russia has been expanding its influence in the region. All this coup d'etat you see going on is Russia's making. So there's concern that, you know, Liberia could be also be caught up in that dragnet. Now that we're talking about overthrowing the president, the presidency of Mr. Weir, but just the influence within the region alone is cause for concern. But regarding this electioneering and the fear that people might rig the election, there is precedent that incumbents are noted for rigging elections. But it's one of those fine lines that you have to cross. You cannot call foul play um, before even the very, very electioneering is held. You have to have some concrete proof. That's where you deploy your intelligence to see what the other side is doing to sustain their grip onto power. I believe this election, if it was rigged at all, it had been rigged way before and today, before even the election will come on. I believe that there were things that were supposed to have been done that we in the opposition did not pay attention to or did not hold this our government feet to the fire. And they've had their way, whether it's funding, whether
Thank you.
it's printing those ballots on time, and so many things involved, whether it's registering young kids, children underage, and all that stuff.
Thank you
I
very
think
much, my dear brother. Guys, again, I will push it because we got a lot of development happening right now as we speak. So bear with me if I ask you to speak for only a minute, please. Mo Ali, welcome to the show. Let's hear you. I know you was pivot to other issue, but let's talk about this election record. You're the spokesperson for the Rescue Train, Unity Party, Jose Yaman Boycott. You're the man up there making the case. Are you afraid? What are your concerns when people say CDC going to rig the election? Where do you stand, or where do the rescue train stand?
So we are not afraid. We have concerns, and these concerns are genuine. Um, in 2017, when the Supreme Court ruled in our case, they were clear. They said there were steps we did not follow. We did not outline issues to complain them to the NEC or to the court. And at the end of the day, the rule, they said there were irregularities, but those irregularities were not to the magnitude as to turn over the results. We have that at the back of our head. So this time around, every little step along the way, we want to catalog them and we want to lay them out very clearly and present them to the Elections Commission. There are issues going on that you do not know about, many people are overlooking. For example, the CDC is moving around buying voter registration cards from people. That is a clear-cut violation of our election laws in this country. You cannot be buying people voter registration cards, taking their voter registration card code, the serial number. What do you want to do with it? No one person is supposed to be in possession of more than one voter registration card. Just yesterday, we discovered something. Signed voter registration cards, genuine voter registration cards, empty ones, with no pictures, and the barcode not there, the one that NEC uses to issue. Individuals are with them moving around. Yesterday, we were able, through some of our intelligence work, to get 14 of them from a friend in Buchanan. This morning, the Standard Bureau and I discussed it, and the Unity Party is going to make the appropriate representation to the NEC. Nobody should be in possession of those empty voter registration cards, especially the ones that are signed by the Elections Commission. Up to this time, also, the Election Commission has not revealed to us, they have not sent out, they have not published the final registration roster. Those things should be there 1 month ahead of time at all of the magistrates, at the polling centers if possible, so that citizens can go and see their names and be assured that they will participate in the voting process. These things are not happening. That's why we are outlining them.
So let me ask you a question more. We understand all your complaint, right? All your concern. And these guys and over here from other political parties, they are not shaking. You alone are not the opposition. Prince Maxwell Leno not shaking. Jerome Gibson, LPP, he's not shaking. Dr. Richardson and our brother Ed Remy Gray, the CPP are not complaining like Unity Party. This is a fair question. Why you think only you will be affected and only you should speak when the other opposition are not speaking?
Well, I can't speak for them. I don't know what they have, but what I can tell you, the Unity Party is an established party. It is a very big party, and we operate at every angle. We have intelligence people who are gathering intelligence and information for us. We act on those information to avoid the situation of 2017, where the Supreme Court will tell you, why didn't you complain ahead of time? Why didn't you catalog these things?
But why only you? Because we gotta go now. We gotta go. But let me just push you. Why only your party? Why only your rescue train? Why are we not seeing the CPP, the LPP? Why are we not seeing the Lino? Why are we not seeing all the other political parties in the opposition? Why only
go ask them right here.
Two reasons. They are here, they can answer. But one reason, the UP is in pole position to win this election. Number two, the UP is going after pieces of evidence that could lead to rigging of election. And remember, elections are not rigged just on the day of election. There are processes that happen leading up to that day, and these are the processes that we want to put halt to.
Thank you very much, Mo Ali. Thank you very much. I will bring in Dr. Richardson because she's from the CPP, Mr. Comey's camp, and then we'll come back to you, Mo, after the other guys have the chance to speak. I am putting this up. I want everybody to take a look at this form. We received this information today. This is the form being distributed by the Thomas Father School. They are giving all the 11th graders and 12th graders these forms and say, fill it up. If you want to travel to the United States on DV, they are distributing these forms. Some of the parents here in the United States got concerned. Why would they give you a DV form? And one of the 12th graders said, because they want to use our name for the voter for the election. That's what she told her parent here in the United States. If anyone out there from Thomas Father School this week receive this document, we ask you to call on the show. We ask you to please go ahead and send it to us. I want to be fair. We reach out to the school. They say they're not commenting on it. When I received this form today, it's like a DV form saying they will do the DV for the student. If any student interested in traveling to the United States, if you look up the U.S. Department of State, there's a DV form. They are distributing it at the Thomas Father School, and they are saying fill it up 11 and 12 graders only if they want to travel, but they will use their information for the election. I am not holding Thomas Father School saying it's true or it's false, guys. I'm saying we reach out to them. They did not to comment. They did not to say anything, but these are the forms that were given to the students, and the students are sharing the form with the parents here in the United States and other part of the world. Now, my question remains. I know you guys will take a snap at this. Dr. Richardson, why only Unity Party fighting this fight about voter, the election will be rigged?
I won't say that it's only Unity Party that is fighting this fight. We do not know what CPP is doing. We have not discussed that on this station, but I can guarantee you that CPP is on top of its game. It is documenting and in contact with NEC chair. So just because we don't discuss it on the show doesn't mean that it is not happening. That's the first thing. Yes, Unity Party is.
Can I hold you there then? Since I'm the moderator, you will continue, but can I hold you there? Why CPP will express this thing and talk about this thing in the back? On all your CPP network, on all your CPP Facebook outlet, we are not hearing from CPP that they are fighting this fight and they are holding responsible the National Election Commission.
again, I don't deal in this kind of generality. You know, I don't listen. I won't say all CPP network or all CPP you know, supporters are not discussing this issue. This is the #1 show. Though we have Mwali can come and tell us what Unity Party is doing, and that's good. You know, I'm glad that he's on top of the issue of the potential of CDC rigging the election. However, I will not say that ANC or CPP is not on top of, you know, communicating with NEC or, you know, being concerned.
I'm very sorry, Dr. Richards. I'll hold you there. Again, let me ask you, tell Liberian people tonight now, say you representing Commies here. Tell Liberian people, what have Commies said? What action have Commies taken? What is he doing? What we're not hearing about this whole voter roll and delay and everything? Is he saying something to you that you'd like to share with us?
Yes, Mr. Cummings denounces any kind of voter, you know, fraud, rigging of the election. This is not what he wants for Liberia. He wants a free and fair elections. He speaks about that all the time. This is not his first time talking about a free and fair election. It will not be his last time. But yes, you know, like I said, Mwali is on this show. That is part of his responsibility as a spokesperson of Unity Party to tell us what Unity Party is doing. And I'm glad that he's, you know, highlighting the fact that CDC is, you know, acting in ways to rig the election, you know. But I want to speak about a certain issue, you know, the issue that Al-Hussein mentioned and Mr. Fagon. You know, they always like to change the goalposts when it comes to the best predictor of future behavior is past performance. We know very well that Vice President Bokar knows about certain fundraiser. We know that. Okay, he's not talking about it. He's not going after them. At least Mwali didn't say anything yet, or anybody else for that matter has said whether he went after those people who are known to be raising money in his name. But yet and still, we want to talk about other people holding other people accountable and transparent. It doesn't work. Okay, Mr. Cummings has spoken on several issues about, I think Prince Maxwell said, Lenu, a leader, Mr. Cummings. They have spoken on several issues: the crime in the country, the economic situation, the security situation. Mr. Cummings is one of the most vocal person who speaks about these things. I have not heard Vice President Bokar speak about these things. He's been mute for most of the time. And lastly, I believe that speaking about this whole issue with the school and them asking people to fill out DV forms, this is probably why the United States government is visiting Liberia, to tell Liberian people that this type of disinformation is not right. If you read the letter that they sent, they said that they are going to be in our country for 3 days, okay? And in those 3 days, they are going to be empowering civil organizations, Liberians themselves. They're going to be talking about freedom and countering disinformation, telling somebody like, oh, you're going to go to America if you vote a certain way, or if you complete this form, is disinformation. That doesn't contribute to a free and fair election. They're going to be empowering the media. They said media empowerment. They're also going to be holding the government accountable, like we should. We are doing this on Spoon Talk all the time. They're going to empower civil society. They're going to talk about democracy process and education that NEC should have had. The only unfortunate thing about this whole situation is that instead of us doing it for ourselves, we are looking to the United States to do it. I want to empower Liberians that are listening to us and come to Spoon every day that this is for us. We need to do this for ourselves. We shouldn't be depend and rely on the American government as we tend to do. This is a very consequential election. Thank you.
Thank you. Before, let me just skip Eduardo a little bit. Eduardo will come back to you because you're from Unity Party and the spokesman is here. He spoke on the issue. Let me go to Lino, Prince Maxwell. Prince.
Yes, Stanton, I would just snag this thing. I'll just snag this thing out of the park. I think Mo Ali comes on the show. He needs to be honest and genuine in his response. If his context is to provoke the opposition to come together to speak to this issue, then I get his point. But I think he can read very, very well. He read in the September 22nd article of Front Page Africa on how Dr. Boniba condemned the election. If I will read it, says that's the case because he made an accusation. Dr. Boniba of Lenu condemned the National Election Commission violation of election laws. And not only that, if you could read the article in its full context, he went deep into the idea of election rigging. Not only that, he has also been making clear his position on his campaign trail everywhere he went, in every community, in every village, in every town, and in every corner in Liberia, to Liberian people that election rigging would not be tolerated. He's made it absolutely clear. Not only that he made it absolutely clear, we've also deployed forces behind Senator DeLong when he was at the election commission. We were all here when I made that announcement. Not only that, we've constantly made people available to protest, to peaceful protest that is in the interest of our election security. So when Mo Ali comes on here, sometimes I will hope that he makes a collective statement, say, yes, I read this person is doing this. Yes, this person is doing this. Not because Unity Party got victim campaign. We also have victim campaign as well. And we are doing the same thing Unity Party is doing in lockstep. Because this is Liberia security. It's not a party thing. It's not a political party thing. It's a national issue. I have heard Cummings spoke on this issue as well. We can, as opposition, despite the fact how our differences, we cannot send a message to Liberian people that opposition not speaking to election rigging or the possible claiming of election. We have to look and seem absolutely unified on this, because almost every opposition candidate has spoken on this. Now, I will agree if we need to amplify that 10 times over. I will agree on that. But to come here and say, no, opposition not saying
let me hold you right there. Let me hold you right there.
It's unfair.
The other guy will come up real quick. I will give you 30 seconds, real quick. The statement or the remark.
Stanton,
yeah.
I think Prince is misrepresenting certain things here that I need to clarify very, very quickly.
Yeah, because you said they can talk for themselves.
Yeah, apparently, when Prince called my name on the show, even if I not say anything related to them, it gives him a certain good feelings. I came here. You asked me a question. Why is the Unity Party the only opposition party crying and making noise? I did not say other opposition parties are not talking. You, Stanton, asked the question. And I was saying...
So you should have provided clarification to Stanton. Says we are not the only party that are doing it.
How come me?
The man say y'all can talk for yourself.
How come me? I can speak for the Unity Party. I said the other parties will speak on what they are doing. Then he said, Mo is not sincere. Mo is not this.
Mo, you read in the front page article. You read in the front page article story where you saw that the money was speaking. You should have made a comment about that. That's public knowledge. That is public knowledge. Make a comment about that.
But we got to go to Duadu, guys.
Thank you,
Duadu. Folks, Duadu, I want you to come in. Then we'll go to Fadiga and Eddie Gray, and Fagon will take us home.
Okay, I want to say this.
Sincerely. The way Unity Party is speaking on this issue, the way they are fighting, they remind from JMD, they remind from Prince Johnson. We are not seeing that blood testing fight from the other opposition political party. If I'm right, then go ahead, talk to us, please.
Yeah, I think what the Unity Party is doing is fighting for our democracy. And I think every political party should be doing the same thing. But let me say this, Stanton, about the election issue. And I will speak briefly to what Honorable Parker said, Honorable Prince Johnson. But I will say this. We did biometrics in the country where we use fingerprints. The National Electoral Commission decided to discourage that, or discard that, and say, listen, we are not going to use the fingerprints, even though we have the electronic data to do fingerprinting and voting in the country. That was discouraged. The voter roll has not been released. There are requests. There are statutory mandates, even from the National Elections Commission own mandate to release these numbers or the voter roll 30 days prior to the actual elections for verification purposes. They have not done that. Now, I will say this. If our Honorable Boycott, given the position he holds, I would not phrase my words the way he did. But the issue of talking about do not rig these elections is legitimate. It's democratic. What's wrong with telling somebody, say, listen, you can't do this because it's going to lead to this. If you're preventing something, that's what you do, is to prevent chaos in the country. And I think Honorable Baka's intent here is to prevent chaos. Maybe people will argue the way he worded this was not the proper way, or the way Prince Johnson went about it. I get that. I get the insinuations from that and how the history we have in the country. But by the same token, the National Elections Commission should want that there should be no rigging. Even the sitting administration should be the biggest people pushing for a fair and free election because they have the greatest thing to lose here. So talking about our election is not a bad thing. I believe we should make sure we are measuring how we speak about them, because the way people will interpret that, I get that and I understand that. And I think we should be measuring our tone. That's what I would say. I'll give it back to you, Stanton.
Thank you very much. Fadiga?
Well, Dalu, I think I kind of disagree with you. Actually, I totally disagree with you. I think you misunderstood what Ambassador Boyka was saying. I think he was very emphatic. This man that people thought was a sleeping giant and weak, he was very firm. And he was very explicit with what he said. He didn't stutter. He said that if the election, he cautioned the Liberian people and called them to protect their vote. That was the first statement. Secondly, he said that if at all or George Weah wins this election again by raking, it's going to be disaster. What does that mean? Imagine George Weah being the president for another 6 years. That is what he meant. That George Weah being the president for another 6 years will be a disaster. And he left it at that. He didn't go further to say anything. And now the context
Those are not the words he used.
We can play the tape. We have the tape.
Okay.
But that is what he was referring to.
No. We want to play the tape.
We have to play the tape.
All right. If you have it, listen, guys. But listen now. If you have the tape, send the tape. Okay, you can send it.
I'll send it to Jenna.
Yeah, go ahead.
So he was very serious. He said that if George, imagine, I've always said it on the show. I cannot imagine living in a world that George Weah will be president for the next 6 years. We will not have a country. I've said it on the show multiple times,
and I've said it too.
We have all said it. Ambassador Boyka was telling the Liberian people that giving George Weah another second term would be a disaster. That's what he meant. He will not call them. Look, the men that have waged war against the Liberian people and continue to wage war against the Liberian people is President Weah. He brought drugs. He has he has been carrying on extrajudicial killing and all the different things, violating his role as the president of the Republic of Liberia. So let us get that right. The statement was very clear.
All right, thank you. We're going to find a clip and play it. Let's go. Yeah, but you throw your 1 minute, brother.
I even said 1 minute here. All right, go. There go. I agree. Because
I'm coming to a place. I'm coming to a place in my life. I just don't like these two guys and Fago and Fadiga anymore. Yeah, seriously. I've reached that place.
We're doing it for the Liberian people. Honestly, I was just trying to correct Walu.
They seem men that can encourage every day that the men that say you want eat or not. We're not going nowhere.
We're not going nowhere.
We try great.
But coming back.
Yeah, go ahead, Dr. Richardson.
Dr. Richardson, right?
All right.
Fortunately, Fadiga, you understood what Vice President Boyka said, but majority of Liberians didn't understand him to say that it's going to be a disaster. He said, and I quote, "This."
No, don't quote. I want to play it on the show. That's why I'm begging people to
say
it. Yeah, beg you. Yeah. Who's get the clip? Just send it to us, please.
The end of the country. So there's two things when people speak that we take into consideration.
Stanton, let me say this.
I was speaking.
Are we discussing my stand-up bearer statement tonight? If we are discussing it, let us know. Let the public know so we can go into fully discussing that statement.
All right, guys, hold on 1 minute, everybody.
We're discussing election.
Hold on, guys. Hold on. That's exactly why I don't like. We will shift the conversation. That's what Richard said. That's what Richard said.
And the next thing is
hold on, more Ali, wait. That's what Richard said. I beg you. I don't like for us to read these things. I just asked Diamond to download it. We would play it and everybody will hear it clear, then we'll discuss it. Right now, let's talk about the ranking of the election, please.
No, but I don't like to be speaking. I think it's very rude and disrespectful and chauvinistic when a woman is speaking and men just jump in there and feel like they have more important things to say. This happened too often on the show when certain people are on the show. That's number one. Okay. Number two, yes, I will listen to you, the moderator. We should be respecting how you direct the show. And you determine what topics that we're going to discuss. But yes, I know what I heard, and I just played the tape, so you can play again. It is not what Fadiga is saying. It is not what Fadiga is saying. As a leader, you should be able to know how you speak and also be able to say, I'm sorry, I misspoke if you did. I did that once upon a time on the show. Number two, certain people, when they speak in our country, They create fear, especially if you have a history of being a warlord or bringing guns in the country or fighting war. It creates fear. So that person needs to be very mindful to do the needful.
Dr. Richardson, do you have the video?
I sent in the video right
Dr.
now.
Richardson, can you send me the video, please? Thank
Sandra,
you.
I beg you, can you give me 1 minute? I will use.
No, we'll come back to you. Even Eduardo said no. We'll come back to you.
I never said nothing. I just responded, my man.
Okay, but let's do it quick now. You went off.
No, what I'm saying is this. You know, the ANC folks remind me of the story of King Solomon in the Bible, of that lady and the babies. You remember when that lady came and said I was a baby? That baby is Liberia. The ANC want to kill that baby because they don't care. That's the whole logic behind the whole thing that will fight. Why the UP is more concerned? Because who's going to win this election? Ambassador Boyka. Who is poised to win it? Ambassador Boyka. Who the people want? Ambassador Boyka. We have more to lose in this thing. This is show who cares for the Liberian people more. That baby called Liberia.
Maybe the show who pocket want to
don't interrupt me now, Dr. Richardson. Dr. Richardson, it's not fair. It's not fair for you to interrupt him.
That funny guy characterize ANC people and just let it go free. No, funny guy, what it shows.
Well, we'll give you the chance to respond. We'll give you the chance. Dr. Richardson, you will respond. Dr. Richardson.
Elected to power. It doesn't show.
I don't laugh, man.
Dr. Richardson. No, I gotta mute all you guys. Dr. Richardson, I'm begging you will have the time to respond. Let Fadiga finish, please. Fadiga, you get 10 more seconds to be kicked out of this show, please. Hurry up.
All right. I don't want Dak to get there on me because yeah, but what I'm saying is these people want to kill the baby. They want to kill the baby because of Cummings' failed aspiration. They rather trade his aspiration over the general good of the country. That is what's happening. That is simple answer. That is why the UP is more concerned. They are fighting like their life depends on it, because when you look at what happened on September 17, it shows who care, who the Liberian people are gravitating towards. So we have more to lose in this election, unlike the people that already know that number, that are going to look. I will end on this one last.
Thank you, Fadiga.
Cummings is running against Cummings 2017. He's trying to outperform what he did. It's not against Boyka, it's not against anybody else. He's trying to make sure that he doesn't slump below the 7%.
So guys, let's go ahead. Let's go ahead. Let me ask you a question. I'm coming to you, Mr. Remy Gray. I'm coming to you. I beg you. Hold on here. I'm coming to you, Mr. Remy Gray. Mr. Remy Gray, again, you have your time to speak. But let me just begging everybody. When we're done with you, we're not coming back. We got to move on. We got a lot of stories. So use your time wisely, please. Eddie, go ahead, my brother.
You know, a family member says you should call me Ed, not Eddie. Ed. Or Rim, yes.
Okay.
Hey, wasting your time again. Get to the point.
You know, I like the Fadiga that used to say if Georgia gets a second term, Liberia is not crumbling, it's not falling, it's not going under the sea. I like that Fadiga. Because as the Fadiga was when he was walking on the opposite lane of the Unity Party, he had a lot to say. And that was one of his most favorable quotes, that nothing like Liberia will not submerge under the sea if George Weah were to get a second term. You understand?
I can't remember saying,
my friend, this idea that Unity Party has won the election unless they are cheated, that is the upbeat statement I want people to take back. Unity Party has not won the election. That was the same position of the CDC back in 2017, where they've lost 2 elections. So they were so concerned that if they lose the third election, unless they're cheated again, they've never lost election in our country where they felt they were not cheated. That's the position of Unity Party. It's not the baby issue. It's not let's serve the baby. It's the fact that you think that you own Liberia more than other people. Let me tell you something about Ambassador Buckeye. When we had this CDC, this election in court, it was Ambassador Buckeye who left because he was going to a runoff, left all the other folks there and said, I don't want blood on my hand. He went to a runoff election. Let me tell you something. Sometimes if you set the precedent from day one, not because it's going to benefit you, you would have laid that precedent for somebody else not to do it. That's what we call deterrence. But you know what? Every Unity Party member, Mo Ali and the rest of the other guys, they feel they've won this election. Jack, you guys have now won this election. You are going to fight for this election. You'll be surprised where the result will fall. So you have now won election. You got nothing to lose. We all got something to lose if Mr. Weir comes back to power. Not you alone. You don't own Liberia more than anybody. So therefore, stop this kinds of loose way of talking. That street way, tabatas, we call it.
Let's
You
all
have now
accept
won
that.
election. You have now won election. So therefore, we are going to the polls until you win from the polls. You cannot declare yourself. Look, you can't charge someone of committing a crime when the crime has not been committed. Nowhere in a legal system or criminal justice system you can hold somebody accountable for a crime that has not been committed. Who does that? The desperation is too much. People should slow down. They're too desperate. They have now won this election. Look, they were there 12 years. What they can do now in the next 6 years, and Liberia did not collapse then. Mr. Weir came in 6 years, 18. Liberia will not collapse. My brother, we've been around for 177 years. Go sit down on that side with your discussion. I don't want to imagine Liberia going under your way for another second term. We all don't want that. But
Thank
you know
you.
what?
Let me bring you
We
in.
have an election.
Spencer, you gotta give me my 10 seconds though. Look, gotta mention me too many times.
Duadu, you go ahead and we'll bring Fagon in.
It will be 10 seconds. Look, this is crazy. If you think you're going to run a country, you're going to become my leader. If you say something, look, I see nothing wrong with Honorable Baka's speech. However, I do see a problem the way the speech will convey and how other people will interpret it. That diminishes my leader. If you cannot speak on that, there's something wrong with you. I'm not that kind of person. If my leader says something the wrong way, I find a problem, I will tell him directly. That's how I am.
Why you guys bring it? Why you bringing the speech, Eduardo? I will start with you. Let's play the speech. Let's play the speech, and I want you to tell Liberia exactly what you think that you disagree with portion of the speech.
And that's why you have to protect it. If you think they will see this election, you will not allow it. Because if you do it, that's the end of this country. And we're not going to allow that to happen.
Guys, let everybody pause a minute, please. We're gonna I beg you. I beg you. No argument. No, there will be no argument. We'll go back to Duadu. I'm gonna come back to you if I'm gonna stop. Duadu was speaking. Do not interrupt your brother Duadu now. Duadu, let me ask you.
That's my brother.
Yeah, Duadu. Why in this clip that you disagree, Duadu? What is in it? What did he say exactly?
Honorable Baka could have phrased it better. The end of this country that has certain insinuations. And if I'm advising Baka directly, I say, Honorable Baka, rephrase it this way. It's a recommendation. As a leader, there are certain things you cannot do. That doesn't mean it's bad. It's just the way it comes up. Perception is very important. I'll give it back to you.
No, don't give it back to me. What did he say that you disagree with, that you want to change?
The end of this country has a connotation of war. Or it has a connotation of chaos. And that's what I don't like about it. He could have said, listen, if this election is rigged, we could turn this country upside down. The people of this country are going to come after you. There will be revolts in the street. There will be protests in the street. I will accept that. But to say the end of this country, it leaves a lot of window. The opposition takes that and they capitalize on that. It's not, look, you say, oh, then you criticizing Baka. Why you get criticizing leader? Then what's wrong with that?
Why do you understand that wrong?
No, Fadiga don't do this. Fadiga don't do this. Fadiga, don't do that. Let the man speak. Let me bring in Fagon. Thank you, Duadu. No, Fadiga, please. I gotta mute you. I won't bring in Fagon. This is very sensitive. It's very serious. Let's give everyone a chance to speak. Fagon, on this clip, your take. Duadu say he disagree with you.
Will we go back to this Ricky election thing?
Yeah, after the clip, I want us to address it in pocket.
Because everybody thought it time for me to talk my your own statement. So I will play with the statement because everybody have talked about the statement. Stanton. The statement said from the very beginning, and I'm shouting because I'm upset. It said that's why we ought to protect it. Why y'all missed that part? Right after he said, that's why we ought to protect it, he continued by saying, if they think they will steal this election, it will not hide. HRDE. unquote. If they think they will steal this election, it will not hide. Because if they do it, that will be the end of the country. Now, it's like a chicken. The people got a chicken in the fence. You have no intention of stealing the chicken. But the owner of the fence and the chicken come outside and say, if anybody steal my chicken, I will shoot lightning. You're running all around your city, threatening you. Are you going to steal the old man chicken? Because he used the alternative clause. If RF is an alternative clause, meaning it can be, it cannot be. If they steal this election, it will not happen. Because if you do it, that will be the end of the country. Because his last statement was what? What did he say in his last statement? He said, because we will not allow it. So are you people asking us to allow them to rig the election? If you know you're not going to rig the election, why are you crying? But I'm not here. I'm here to answer my brother Dwalu. When you say it has a connotation, right now there is extrajudicial killings, ritualistic killings, corruption. For all three one side, they are not important. What is important is that the very people that should continue the existence of our country are being dropped. So, if the youth of our country are all destroyed, will you have a country? No. If our passports are being seized and visas are only given for 1 year now, do you have a country? If your country is deemed a narco state, will you have a country? If a country is plunged into a civil war as a result of vote rigging, will you have a country? That's why he spoke in context. If they do it, an alternative clause, it will not hide. Because that will be the end of the country. Because he anticipates chaos and fighting. In 2017, you said it right here, he walked away. But the Liberian people have walked in poo-poo water. They have never gone on a lightning and thunder in their whole life. They do not like wind. They have gone above and beyond to prove that this government must leave. Any attempt to subvert the democratic rights of the people against the backdrop of Article 1 that says all power is inherent in the people will not be a recipe for chaos.
Thank you,
It will be a direct provocation for war.
Thank you, Fago. Mo Ali, we're going to end with you with this other story.
We will come back to that for brother.
Yes, we will. But the statement from your political leader, Mo Ali, you have two of your own supporters saying, one, Dwalu say, well, the Ome should have spoken from a different line instead of using that word, those line that there will be no Liberia. Fagon is coming opposite to what Dwalu said. What say you? You saw that you guys clarify. If Dwalu is wrong, why did you guys clarify?
The party did a clarification, and let me say this in a very clear and precise tone. I 100% back that statement. I 100% stand with that statement, and I will even make a more statement than that. You know, it baffles me when people run around and say, oh, Ambassador Bakker.
We're not talking about you, Mo. That's you. You can use any statement and take you to the Liberia National Police and release you. No. You can't say you come in. Your party, your rescue train, they clarify the statement. If Dwalu is wrong, we are not concerned about your own opinion. Go on the street and say what you want to say. But the party clarified the statement because there must be something that they want to check. And that's why Dwalu coming in.
Because people are trying to spin it. It doesn't mean that it was
not talking to you. You're not a spokesman.
Stanton. That's shouting to me and not AOA. Dwalu as a supporter of Joseph Boakai
has
has got his right to disagree. Dwalu has got his right to criticize. So don't ask me if Dwalu is wrong or if Dwalu is
why your party clarifying? If the statement was so unique, why they couldn't just leave it let it be? Why did they clarify?
Why did they clarify?
Because you said nothing wrong with the statement. You said nothing wrong with the statement.
I said nothing, but there is nothing wrong with it because
but your party saw that something was wrong with the statement.
I didn't want to talk like that.
Clarification means
people who call themselves journalists in this country will extract the if from the statement and make it look like Joseph Boakai said, this is the end of the country.
Thank you.
They may use a conditional phrase or whatever it is. If he say, if I say, Stanton, if you slap me, I will slap you back. Stanton, when you not slap me, I will slap you back. So people who are running with it, these people are telling the Liberian people that they have got evidence that they are in the know that there are plans to rig election in this country. And in fact, that is the reason why we are blowing the trumpet. Because by law in this country, when you steal, there are consequences for stealing. Elections were rigged in this country and we saw the consequences. So we are sounding the alarm bell. Please do not rig election. We saw what happened here in 1927 with Charles D.B. King when they rigged election. We saw what happened in 1985 when elections were held and the results, that the way the people voted, different results were announced. Nobody wants to go to that. So the elections must be credible. If the people voted tomorrow, they say Stanton Witherspoon is our president, he must be announced. Nobody has got the right in this country to thwart the will of the Liberian people. When you do that, you will feel the wrath of the people. It's as simple as that.
All right, so we got to go back to this.
Dwalu has a right to criticize his leader. We all do.
Yeah, but for Mo, we'll go back to this thing. I'm going to end with Prince Maxwell on this one. Prince, I disagree with my brother Mo Ali, right? Prince, let me say this. There must be something that led the party to clarify. And I think the party agree with Dwalu.
Look,
all right, I think the party agree with Dwalu and say we need to clarify the Omen statement. But go ahead, talk to us, Prince.
Stanton, first and foremost, Dwalu has come on the show many times. He's represented the Unity Party better than most people that have engaged. I think Dwalu is cognitively sound.
Are you saying Dwalu is better than Fadiga?
I'm not comparing and contrasting people here. So the point here is that
you left problem. You left problem.
The point here is that he made it absolutely clear. Now, I was very pleased that the Unity Party came up with a clarification to that statement, because Ambassador Barker is a former vice president and a current statesman. So I think that is where I'm going to stop. But I'll just give this announcement. I'll just give this breaking news. As you already know, I've been a former diplomat and I've lived my life for a couple of times now in Belgium here. I've met good people here, and I'm hearing in the corridors of Brussels that the European Union is contemplating their position on this issue of voter rigging in Liberia, from the context of the geopolitics that's happening right now. I know fully well that the conversation is being held, because I've been informed about it, that there are possible package of possible sanctions being prepared in the case where it happens: travel sanction, financial restriction, and a possible deportation of family members who will be involved in Liberia. If their family member in the European Union territory and there are people who are in Liberia involved in the voter rigging, they will send them back. It is something the European Union is contemplating right now. They are talking seriously about it because Liberian people are speaking towards voter rigging in the country. So the European Union is preparing itself for this possibility. in case it happens. That's just the information I'm getting, and I just wanted to bring
Thank you,
know
Robert.
that.
So now let's come to the last issue then, because we got to leave from here at 7. That will be 11 in
Hey,
Liberia.
what happened?
At
They phone meeting. You're not leaving me outside.
At the end of the program, we also want to say that we got to wish Dama Slanger a belated birthday, and we got to open the phone line for folks to appreciate Dama, one of the best at the Spoon Network. We have a lot of good young men doing extremely well. Let me say this real quick. Wish this is fair. If you want to speak on the front, I will start with Fadika. Temo Adi Live. Fadiga, you support JB.
Wait, Stanton. So that vote rigging, I will not get my time on it. The whole world listening to you. Everybody talk, and I remind you over 7 times. You be there, I'm not talk on vote rigging.
All the one that you talk on your 2-person in the house show, it ain't enough.
I even put a document in the chat room. You say, should I put it up? Because that's the law. Why you don't want me to speak?
Go ahead, speak on it, Fagon. You get 2 minutes.
People, ain't y'all see that, man? Ain't y'all see how some people don't look good? Okay. I will stay talk. Folks, the document you're looking at on your screen, we gave it to Spoon so they can post it. When a woman came out and said, show me one law where it said 30 days, some of us start laughing. The first thing, biometric was meant to what? To make sure that the person who registered gets to vote. That biometric now, they say they will not use it. John can just come with a voting card. If they see it on the paper, John can vote. The second thing here is, since they've been catching voter registration card, the woman cannot go there and say these cards in your cash, that our card, you give it back to us. No, we can't hear it. The next thing here is, I will give you 16.1 of the new election law, 16.0 all the way down. Yeah, right there. I can't read all, or Stanton will cut me off. But I will tell you 16.4 says that the final registration roll shall be deemed to be in registration roll for the respective polling places and shall remain in force until rendered invalid by subsequent final registration roll. They're talking about the Supreme Court. It made it specifically clear that when the name of the same voter, and they're talking about what? Depopulation through that deduplication process. That is, take all the people then with a false name. Now, when you come to 16.5, which I want you to focus on, it says the final registration roll, and put in parentheses. Hey, I look at Dr. Francine shaking her head. She's shaking it. You can enjoy me, eh? Say, yeah, if I go, I can enjoy you. 16.5. The final registration roll for each magisterial area in parentheses shall be available at the magisterial office for public inspection during normal business hour. That means put that thing up so that people can go see their name. If their name not there, they go report to Mr. Cummins. And I see my name not there. Mr. Cummins go to the Supreme Court and fight that case. They didn't do it. We only get 15 days. 16.6 say, NEC may provide stakeholders with electronic copies of the final registration roll in a secure form. That word may. Honor Joseph Braga will change it to shall. May means they can do it. They don't have to do it. 16.7, which is the most important law. I repeat, Stanton. It is the most important law. No final registration roll may be altered within 30 days prior to an elections, except upon an order of the Supreme Court. You see that law? Now we only got 15 days. We're not even CAA. And they cannot be altered 30 days prior. So what do we do now? But here is an education I want to give the whole country today. That magisterial error, when you give us the FF error, it allows us to say that and say, so we rather get 15 magisterial areas. Okay, we'll look there, we study it. But if you don't give it to us, how do we know what precincts you carry ballot boxes to? This is where Stanton, you're really paying the country. I come and tell you something today. That how they can cheat us, yeah? Because if you don't know all the false numbers, then they put in together, they will just tell you one ballot box came from Colorado Great Town, which none of y'all know yet. It had 3,000 votes in the offer, Georgia. What will you say? But at least if they tell you about where the ballot boxes will go, that's what you man. If they tell you where the boxes will go, how many persons there? More Ali, who is from Cape Town, will go and check and make sure that town there and the people then there, and we have his pool washer ready to go there. Up to now, we don't know anything in the country, and we only got 15 days to go.
Let me ask you a question before you end, because we got to go to the last portion of this conversation for tonight.
Can I just say 10 seconds? The last one I wanted to say.
Yeah, go ahead.
Stanton, on the deduplication, you the boardman Stanton. When they say deduplication, that means no party will register more than 5 times. So when that woman get all the number from Monserrato, she said it was 891,201. It went for deduplication. Instead of reducing, it went up. Stanton, I am pleased to tell you that there are 3 counted numbers that went up. Monserrato County, Magibi, and Grand Paso. She have not told us why it increased instead of decreasing as a result of deduplication. She said she took 27,000 people as a result of deduplication. Where did the 27,000 people come from? Which counties? I smell stinky, stinky, dinky. And we just waiting because at the end of the day, we only got 15 days to go to elections. And here are the facts before your eyeball.
Let me ask you now.
I smell stinky, dinky, dinky.
Yeah, Fagon, let me ask you. Fagon, so...
You know what, Dr.
Fagon, let me ask you this now.
Smart area in America, stinky, dinky. State don't know what I'm talking about. If you tell about it, say you stinky, dinky.
Fagon, let me ask you this. Stanton want to vote. I went to precinct 16, right, in District 5. I have my one voting card, Fagon. I vote I'm voting for Fadiga because he's on it. I vote for Remy Gray, right?
Hey!
I vote for Remy Gray. So then Maxwell came in and Maxwell voted for Fadiga. Fagon, I want you to explain from precinct 5, District 16. How can they take my vote from Remy to give to Fadiga?
Thank you very much. First of all, there is not a possibility of them taking your vote. And the reason is very simple. You would have checked the FFR, as the law say on the magisterial board, and see your name Stanton. You will see your number. When you enter that pool that day, your pool washer will be there. They can't steal your vote. And they will count the vote right there. You know where the problem is?
Where?
Stanton, right now as you are, you don't know where you're supposed to go to vote because you don't know what precinct they have put you in. You don't know your district because you have not checked on the roll.
Okay, so
on the day of registration, permit me to say this. Imagine you go, you say, I register in how you can call that place in Banave, man. Noir Panton.
That in good time, Noir Panton.
Yeah, you register in Noir Panton. You know you're supposed to go vote to Noir Panton. We got 2 weeks to election. You carry your card. You know on the whole day you see your name. What do? Then you go to Noir Panton that day to go vote. You show your card. They tell you, say, no, you're not registered yet. You will get questioned on that day.
Fagon, let me pause you.
Can I come here a little?
I'm bringing you Mo Ali. Mo Ali, I want to bring you because you're on the ground, you're the spokesperson, and then we'll go to the other guys. Mo, it's Fagon, right? That my vote, if my name is on the roll, I can go in there and vote, and my vote will be counted towards the person I voted for.
Yes.
Is that true? Where is the rigging come in, Mo Ali? Help us understand.
So several ways. The first thing is, the election law did not say they should publish the FRR 30 days before time. But that election law that Fagon said, it says clearly that the FRR cannot be altered 30 days before election.
Yes, sir.
How are you going to know if something is altered or not 30 days? It means that you have to publish it for the public to see 30 days before. Because if we see it and you change it 10 days to election, I will know. We don't have the copies. So the political party is supposed to be in possession of it before 30 days. So that when you, because the final copy you're supposed to give to the parties. If you give it to them 30 days, why if you give it to all 10 days before election, 30 days before election? If
So more, that's a what if. I want you to help educate our fellow Liberians tonight now.
I will also say another one, right?
Yeah.
Number two, it is vote rigging. If you don't tell people early where they are supposed to vote by the publication of the roster to the various precincts, and the person goes there, for example, Dr. Richardson is supposed to vote for Mr. Cummings, and Dr. Richardson goes to a particular precinct in a particular polling center where she registered, and you did not publish the voter registration roster for her to know where she's supposed to vote, and Dr. Richardson does not vote for her candidate, that's another way of vote rigging. Number three, if a political party, that is a negligence of the party also, if a political party does not have representative poll watchers to a particular polling center, then you have 500 persons registered to the polling center, right? Maybe 250 persons comes and vote. Outstanding 250 persons. The people in there can connive. They can take extra 150 clear ballot and mark it for Dr. Richardson. They pull it in there.
But I never say that's a negligence of a political party. So we're not going to speculate on that. I want you to help us. I want you to help Liberians understand tonight. Mary got her voter registration card. She's sleeping on the Mo Ali. She is sleeping on it. She's waiting for October 10. Omer Flomo get the same thing, waiting for October 10. They woke up in the morning, went to the precinct, cast their vote for Mr. Duadu. You think that those folks will be recognized? The vote will be recognized, correct?
The votes will be recognized. But yeah, it's also another way they can do if the polling staff are compromised. They will take your votes because all the election observers are 6 feet away. The person can take your vote and look at it. If the election pool, if the presiding officer is compromised, if this vote is for Fadiga, they look at it, they turn it like this. They say invalid. They chunk it down.
But I'm confused now. But let me go to Duadu. I beg you, then we're bringing the ANC folks. Duadu.
I wanted to show you an example where they
you talk about time
I'm sorry, you're right, Fadiga. Hold on 1 minute. Let's finish with Mo and you will come in. You're right, Fadiga. Go ahead, Mo. You said
so they can do that, they look at it, they say invalid, they chunk it there. Now when you go in a presidential election, they do that to majority of the polling centers.
I think, don't you think it's just a fear tactic saying, because you're gonna have
your poll watchers? No, it is not fear tactic saying.
No, but you're gonna have your poll watchers there.
There are instances in representative elections where people have challenged.
More Ali, you will have your poll watchers. You will have your poll watchers there, though.
Actually, people have had poll watchers there, but poll watchers are 6 feet away from the presiding officer and the counting and the verification.
Let's set it in place. Let's set it in place, Mo Ali. And I want us to give the people the right information because some international folks beat on me, and they want us to help educate our fellow Liberians on Spoon Talk. That's why I'm coming from another angle. Mo Ali, if the presiding officer 6 feet away, but yet and still, for all the political parties, let's take 20 of them, have the representative in that room, you think the presiding officer would do something stupid in favor of one political party?
And they have done it before.
And nobody will see it, nobody will question.
Stanton, let me answer you. They've done it before. Here's the reason why they can do it. The first thing is that polling centers close at 6 p.m. Before they finish doing the verification and the sorting of the votes and everything, is already dark. Most of the polling centers, particularly those in the rural areas, they don't have electricity. People are using Chinese lights and phone lights. And you, the pool observer for a particular political party or candidate, you 6 feet away. Only the presiding officer who is counting the votes, taking a look at it, invalid, and lay it down. It is very, very possible.
Okay,
it has
thank you,
happened
bro.
in
Let's bring the other folks to talk. Thank you.
They are called for recount and they won the election. Most of the invalid votes were declared valid after recount. For presidential election, it can be difficult to call for that kind of recount.
Let's see if Liberians understanding what you are saying. Let me bring in Fadiga, Mr. Duado, Dr. Richardson, Remy Gray, Gibson that just joining us, and we'll finish up with Fago on this one. Fadiga?
What Mo Ali is saying is right. I think based on our sources, the NEC is deliberately stalling this process of the FRR to up to 4 days to the election. We will give us almost 200,000 documents that we have to verify. This thing should have been done early to give more people that look. The Supreme Court have ruled on this before. You look at what happened but then I think it was Justice Banks. In 2017, we have had a ruling on this before, and it's very clear. We do not want to create a situation where there is discrepancy within, because a lot of people are going to be disenfranchised at the polling station. If your name doesn't match, is not there. Look, I don't know how we're going to fix this problem because it's already a mess. We're just going into a blind now, hoping for the best while preparing for the worst. I can say that it has nothing to do with politics. We are just going there hoping for the best because given what the NEC have not done that they should have done 30 days before the election, and we still have not cleaned up this role. The citizens have not had the chance to verify. In the Supreme Court, in the last ruling, they said if your name is not on the roster and it doesn't match, you will not be allowed to vote. I see a bunch of our people going to the polling station and they tell you, say, you're not going to vote, your name not on it. How are we going to wait on election day? It's going to be chaotic. So this is not only a UP thing. This is an L or every political.
Fadiga, you repeat what Moadi said. I want us to get to some serious discussion here because it is important. You have over 20 political party representatives in one small room. You have presiding officer, one of them sitting down and say the most say, oh, this thing not working, they want an invalid vote. So
what do you do then?
Do you believe it, Duadu, that one presiding officer will come out and say, you know what, this is invalid and just pack it, and you get over 20 representatives not saying anything? They are saying.
What can they do on election day? What can they do on election day? Mary Brown come there, they look there, his name doesn't match the system. You cannot vote. It is our law. You cannot vote. What are we going to do?
Stanton, the verification list of the FRR is crucially important. Most of the stuff Mo Ali says is entirely true, but I have to make this point. Look, let me tell you guys something. If you have a political leader, you have to protect him and what he or she says. If that makes him vulnerable and you are in his quarter and you cannot say that to him, you're making him more vulnerable. It's important that he knows that. Let me tell you, it's not about diplomacy. At the end of the day, the way you're
I will not finish.
No, finish with you, man. Don't interrupt me.
I tell you, I'm feeding into the hype.
But why you interrupting?
No,
why you interrupting?
Now your own political party, brother. You're
But
I will talk. When they finish, I will talk. I'll let you know. Go ahead.
I thought you wanted to say something different about the same thing, But Dwalu, I will tell you, you are feeding into the hype. I don't see anything wrong in saying that what Ambassador Boyka said. He was very clear. It's open for interpretation. He has given an explanation. There's nothing wrong. The reason why we are discussing this is because enemy of the state are pushing this fake narrative so that I believe that the person that is bringing war in Liberia is Georgia, and we should continue to hammer that. not someone that made statement. Is that how war come in the country? No. How the war came? What brought civil war in Liberia? We all know what brought civil war in Liberia. We all know. It's not about statement. People were not talking. People were tired with the repressive regime of Samuel Doe. It was tribalism. It was all the different isms that we are fighting against now today in this government. So don't come tell me, say, oh, Ambassador Boyka said this. I do stand by Prince Johnson. Are we going to vote our him for job? We have to wreck another election? It will not going to happen. The young people, all young, are going to get in the street and protect our vote. That is what we are saying here. We're not going to sit on there.
Thank you very much, Fadiga. I beg you, let's bring in Mr. Duado. I beg you, let's bring in Mr. Duado. Guys, let's mute ourselves, please. Everybody will have the chance to speak on this very important issue. I thought we were done. I thought we were done with this JMB clip. We are moving to voter rigging now. So, Duado, please.
Thank you so much. And I believe civility will do us a great make a move forward. I will say this, and I will continue to say this. It got nothing about feeding into a hype. What I'm telling you, it weakens our political organization. If something is said, if you tell me, say that's not discussed in the public, then I can agree with you on. But it's already in the public. If I'm going to tell you,
Ambassador,
don't do that. Don't do that.
But don't interrupt the man. Fadiga, don't do that. Fadiga, no, don't do it. Don't do it, Fadiga. I'm begging you.
No, I'm just trying to tell you what happened in
No,
2017.
When I did that, you put me in the back. Then put me in the back.
You're right. I beg you guys. Let me respect each other now.
You got Chris not looking for somebody.
Go ahead. I put it in the back.
Yes, Stanton.
Yes, Stanton. Go ahead.
Yes, let me finish my point.
Okay.
Look, you can go up, you come down. I believe a decorum. If I extend you a courtesy, I expect the same courtesy to be extended to me. You spoke without interruption. I will say this. It's not about what Honorable Bwaka says that bothers me. I don't have problem with his statement. I have problem with the open-endedness of the statement and leaves it for interpretation. It weakens the organization. That's what I'm making clear. You don't have to agree with me, but I'm going to tell you this. I know politically we're not supposed to say, oh, this is bad, this is bad. The reason why our organization leaving room to go reinterpret is because it's an open-ended comment and people will interpret it wrongly. And that's what I'm saying. It got nothing to do with the statement. We don't want rigging in the country. I agree with the statement, but I don't agree with the open-endedness of the statement. And I want to make that clarification. I'll give it back to you, Stanton.
No, let me give it back to you. I want you to talk about what Moali spoke about, please. Entering the vote.
No, but I told you I agree with what Moali said. A lot of ways to rig election, and we have to really verify this FRR. And in fact, I want to say this. The Supreme Court will have to do a lot of work because if this thing comes 10 days before the election, Lefadiga said there is no way we can verify over 2.4 million documents in the span of 10 days. So there will be something done. So if I went to a precinct and my name is not there, there is an issue. What are we going to do? And I don't trust it.
Fadiga, I'm sorry. Duadu.
Stanton, one more crucial information. Stanton, one more crucial information. Are you aware that the political parties have to print the FRR for every polling center to give to their poll watchers? And you're talking about almost 2.5 million names.
Correct.
You're talking about 5,890 or some more polling stations. So you have to print it, you have to sort it out, polling station by polling station, print it, and then distribute it across the country. You can't do that.
Sorry. Even if they work 24 hours a day, they cannot do that. And there are few printing presses in the country that they can really do this stuff. It's not like we're a developed country. Maybe, I know UP has their own printing operation, but Stanton, there is not enough in the country to print it in the time allotted. And the transportation across the country is also an issue. The training of the staff. So all of those are issues.
Thank you. Thank you, guys. Again, it's very important that we stick to our discussion. It's very important that we help educate our fellow Liberians, because this will either be a mess or it will be a victory for Liberia. Now, I want to leave this open with the last conversation. Please tell me, your candidate, which county is the stronghold? Your candidate, which county is the stronghold? How many counties can you give Jose Yimabwaka today to say no if and a but? He must win and he will win. How many counties can you give Tewan Gonglo today? If you say none, then your county, your standard bearer gets 0. So and again, we'll start with Eddie, Remy Gray. Ed, sorry to say Eddie. Ed, Remy Gray, go ahead.
lots of conjectures have been made, especially by Mo Ali. Let me make it clear that the same reason why Ambassador Bokar does not have any history of fighting for anybody. What does it mean by if this is rigged? I know definitely.
They say why your candidate can win, you
My
can't, you
friend,
can't fight
my friend. Let me use my time. That's how I utilize the time.
And the hard
The
talent people
ambassador
can lie.
has
The hard
the
talent people
ambassador
can lie.
has zero history of fighting for anybody. So when he makes a statement, it means only time the election is rigged is when he does not win. That's the meaning that we're all trying to battle over. And let's go back to the issue about county and where we have strongholds. The alternative national congress in the CPP and the Liberty Party, those two organizations, you have to look at their strength. Definitely Basa is in our column. We're gonna bulldoze a chunk of what comes out of Monserrado. Kipma is in our column. You like it or not. Kipma is in our column. And I can tell you also Maryland is in our column.
So I beg you, again, I'm looking for a stronghold. You name Basa definitely, but you say some of Maserati Kipman. So just name me those countries you think that Mr. Comey right now get his back on.
When you say stronghold, it means the number of votes you will garner from a
Yeah, you
particular
will win. You will win from that county.
from a particular region.
Yeah.
Montserrado has the elephant meat. So if you have a good chunk out of there, that can be a stronghold. If you also go to Nimba County, we've been working there way before Ambassador Boyka and others start running there, including George Weah. We have been working there, including building bridges. We have our strongman, Musa Hassan Belite, presence in our place. So we can garner enough vote from there.
Thank you. Thank you very much, guys. I beg you, we'll give each of you 1 minute on this subject because it's just simple to just call the county that you think your political leader stand right now. If the election is today, that person will win that county. Let me go ahead because we talked to Eddie. We're going to bring in Fadika. Then we'll go to one opposition in position from the opposition. Fadika, which county, how many can you give Jose Yimabwaka right now if election is today?
Well, I can give you several of them. I see people looking at Bikeno. The pathway for Ambassador Boyka to win this election is not even in Bikeno. We got Nima County. We have already closed out Nima County. You're looking at Lofa County. We're coming out towards Monserrado County, where the Unity Party have dealt with before, and even the last election, you know that we did very good in Monserrado County. We got Prince Moore in Bon County. We want to be fighting in Bon County. We're looking at Magibi County. When you put all those three things together, we're not even worried about the Southeast. We're going to put some people there, and we are seeing a huge strong. When you go look at the Western cluster, Bomi and other places. So I mean, we're all over the place. What I see is the same trick that George.
Thank you, Fadiga. Guys, we got to run with this one. Fadiga, thank you very much. Let me bring in Dr. Richardson. Dr. Richardson, which county for Mr. Cummings that today he can say, you know what, we got it locked in.
So I'm gonna say that Mr. Cummings believes that all Liberians are his constituent. It's not about county matter. He believes that the people who are suffering, the market women, the Zocos, the people who call Zocos, he believes that the professional Liberians. So he is looking at a kind of holistic approach to winning Liberia. We'll continue to make our case door to door, village by village, group to group, network to the Liberian people. But specifically about county, we know Monserrado is on a wrap for us. Monserrado tend to be, a very open-minded and liberal type. Yeah, look at me like that, Mr. Falcon. A very liberal type county. A lot of women are there. A lot of women are supporting Mr. Cummings. They're very open-minded. We know we'll get a good, we have a good stronghold of Nima County. Many of my colleagues come from Nima. They've been pushing and working very hard. The CPP members are mostly Nibayans, and we will be there to make sure that we make the case for Mr. Cummings. We know the Bassa belt. We don't consider Grand Bassa just a county that Mr. Cummings will win. Bassa people are in multiple areas of Liberia. They're in Mogibi, they're in Bassa, they're in Monserrato, they're in Nimba. So the Bassa belt is what we're looking at. We'll get a good sizable amount of people from there. So
thank you very much, Dr. Richardson. Guys, I'm really looking at it 1 minute. Dr. Richardson, thank you. I'm looking at it 1 minute, Dr. Richardson. Mr. Duadu, let me bring you in, Mr. Duadu. That county that Fadiga named some of them. Talk to me.
I think we'll win about 8 counties on the record. So I will go Lofa, Nima, Bon County, Mosoralo County, Bapulu County, Bomi County, Cape Man as well. They will win Cape Man in that location. So I see about 8 counties read out they're going to win. When I mean win and Mosoralo County, I mean with the highest percentage in that county once the votes are counted. First round.
If there's a first round, you meant?
First round, yes.
Can you name those counties? Can you name those counties again?
Okay, I'm saying Lofa County, Bapulu County, Nima County, Bon County, Mosoralo County, Margibi County, Bomi and Kima.
Thank you, Fadiga. I'm sorry, Eduardo. Thank you very much. Let me bring my brother Gibson before we go to Prince Maxwell. Gibson, are you with us? Welcome to the show, brother Gibson.
Thank you. I missed the most important part of the discussion today.
We are not putting this vehicle in reverse. Talk to us. Which county you think Tewon Gonglo get his foot on right now?
Well, is it, I have 1 minute, right? Thank you very much.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I'll use 15 seconds to make my premise. You know, the people who want to destroy Liberia, they are the ones that are going to lose votes in this country. You want to destroy Liberia, it's on your hand. The blood is on your hand. And this is how you will start war in the country. But if you start the war, Grand Jeda will be on the side of peace. And we'll fight you up with tooth and nail. Let me say, Councillor Gonglo, how Councillor Gonglo is most, Nima will never vote for another person in the first round. Just take it from me. Everybody in Nima County, Gonglo is going to win Nima hands down. Either half or more than 0.5% of it. Number 2, in Mosorado County, the main place that Councillor Gonglo is known for his work, his teaching, his advocacy, his human rights protection, his law, that's in Mosorado County, defending students, defending human rights advocates, defending journalists, defending political parties who are being marginalized or who are being maltreated. It's in Mosorado County. We are slicing at least 40% of that from Mosorado County. Bon County is a new place for us to play our tabela because we have a man who knows how to talk to a Bon citizen. And Dr. Yagbawolo had done a very great job. They go from house to house and register people's names to be sure. So when we tell you that in Bon County, we will have 45% of the vote, we are very sure because we have numbers written down. And these are people we are very sure of. So I can give you the first three. And now last one. River says, there's nobody in the election, no presidential candidate in the election that is born in River says more than Councillor Gonglo. His sister husband is.
Thank you very much. We gotta go. Thank you very much, my brother.
Village in Riverside County.
Again, want to say, brother Gibson, thank you very much. Prince Maxwell. Before we bring you in, Prince, let me bring in.
Can I go back and talk about the JMB something more?
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. You will come early to Sunday school. Then you will know who born Jesus. Mo Ali, I want to bring you in, Mo Ali. Your leader, Jose Yima Boyka, if today is election, how many counties are you giving him? How many counties can he win on the first round? Immediately, without question. Talk to Liberians tonight.
We're keeping time, right?
Yes, we are. Please do. You can unmute, Mo.
Let me add 1 to the 8 that Dwalu called. I'll add Grand Bassa to the 8 counties that Dwalu called. So let me repeat that. Lofa, Bomi, Cape Mount, Bapulu, Nimba, Mosorado, Bon, Bassa, and Margibi County. So Dwalu called 8, and I'm adding 1 to that 8.
So you said 9. Which county are you leaving out for the sake of our audience?
No, I said Dwalu called 8, and I'm adding 1 to the 8 to make it 9.
Okay. All right, I got you. I got you. Thank you.
9 counties in the first round. 9. And we are expected to win Lufa between 75 to 80%. Nima will win between 60 to 65%.
We will come on the numbers. We'll come on the numbers because we got the chat. Thank you very much, spokesperson Mo Ali. Let me go to Prince Maxwell. Prince Maxwell, your take for your political leader, that's money back.
100%. Stronghold, Bapolo, Lofa County, Bon County, Magibi, Grand Juliet, Grand Bassa. We have stronghold in the areas, and we're definitely going to win those places. The areas in which we are making serious inroad right now because of one or two other problems, that because of the road and everything else. Maryland, Bon County, Grand Cape Mount County, River G, and in Montserrat, we have the factor of Madam Grace Kwan. So definitely making serious inroad in the Montserrat counties and all the counties I mentioned. So definitely there are possibilities of taking over these counties, but if the very first 5 counties, 6 counties I mentioned, we are winning in those counties. I know I see these guys. Yeah, go ahead.
Thank you very much, Prince. Don't pick on anyone, please. We gotta go to the phone line. Let me bring in Laming Fagon. Go ahead, Minister.
JMB, whether it's a first round, wherever you take it, he's going to win 10 counties. So I would name the 10 counties straight out. And then I will give people who will be skeptical about 1 or 2 counties a reason why. JMB will win Montserrat. He will win Magibi because there's no difference between Magibi and Montserrat. It's just the same place, no border. He's going to win Grand Bassa. The reason why he will win Grand Bassa, we saw it recently. I'll come back to that. He will win Cape Mount, Bomi, and Bapolu. There is no question as to who will win the Western Belt. That's where his wife is from. That's where he went to school, grew up, and did everything at. And that's the prevailing circumstances puts us in the position to win. Bon County, he will definitely win. No question about that. Maryland, we also know in the Southeast that Maryland is in the hands of. As for Nimba, do you really want to argue? No, you will never even try that one. In Riverside, he will win. If you look at the 2 senators, it has always been a UP place. It's still part of the Bassa Belt. Now, with my other 30 seconds, I'll tell you this. President Weah went to Grand Bassa. According to Kalasco, and I quote, he said they did not have courage from in the morning to in the night, so they couldn't show. You saw him in Compound 1, you saw the crowd. You saw him in Compound 3, you saw the crowd. You saw him in Lac, you saw the crowd. You got other videos. You saw him in Buchanan. He will wipe it clean because there are 3 candidates there. George Weah, JMB, and that of Cummings. When you divide it, who's going to win? You say who will win in the county.
And again, we're going to dig. Thank you, Fagon. We're going to dig into this real quick because that's the reason why I have to just interrupt you guys now. Let's do the second round and do it very fast in 30 seconds. You say your candidate will win in those counties, but you're leaving other counties for who? For
you asking me now?
No. We're gonna keep you for last, for Dika.
We do know that we do not go in this elections thinking that George Weah is a lame duck president or just sitting down there folding him. There are certain areas that he will do well, and historically, Grand Jury have always gone to something. But those counties that George Weah have historically won are very with least population. They are least some of the least populated. Take the entire southeastern region for that. We can even take that as a minute portion of the election. So we're not worried about that. Well, our focus is on those big counties like the Lofa, Nima, Montserrat. You cannot win election in Liberia if you do not have those people. That's why Prince George have been sought after.
Thank you. Let me say that. Thank you. It looked like I didn't phrase the question right, but let me do it again because we are looking for 50 plus 1. Thank you, Eduardo, for checking me on that. We are looking for 50 plus 1 to win. My question, look at these 15 counties. Look at them, folks. It's here. Bombing. Female 30,000, male 32,000. Total 63,112. Let's look at the Western cluster, guys. Do you think any of your political leaders can come up when you put Bapolu, Bomi, and Cape Mount in the first round as a leader? Tell me why you're going to say yes or why you think not. They will come a second.
What can I answer that?
Yeah. You're going to answer Fadiga. We get Bomi, we get Grand Cape Mount, and we get Bapolu.
I know you're asking specific, but I want us to look at the numbers, the most populated counties. Just look at where JMB is trending. And where George Weah have his you took a picture.
No, I named 3 counties. You told me that he will win the Western cluster counties. I just named them to you.
All right. Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah. That's it. I'm done.
Okay, thank you. Dr. Richardson, 3 counties. You think Mr. Cummings will come up winning in the first round, these 3 counties?
Montserrat.
No. Grand Cape Mount, Buffalo, and Bombay, the Western cluster counties.
Cape Mount.
You're going to give him Cape Mount?
Yes, United Party has not done anything for the people of Cape Mount. So Mr. Cummings presents our new opportunity and offer new hope for the people of Cape Mount. Bummy,
why are you saying Cape Mount? Who in Cape Mount? Who gave him Mr. Cummings that vote? Who gave him the strength? What is he doing for the people of Cape Mount that you think that the people will reward?
We have a coordinator. His name is Mr. Famile. He's under the CPP leadership. I'm not going to sit here and tell you all of our strategy, but we continue to meet the people again, village by village, house to house. That's our plan. And Mr. Cummings was recently in Cape Mount. And the UP Unity Party has failed the people of Cape Mount. You know that. Just recently, in a hearing, they had the Gold Mountain, a B Mountain situation that they couldn't even answer whether they built a healthcare system for the people of Cape Mount. So I wouldn't expect that Unity Party will win. I expect Mr. Cummings will win. He's been announcing to the people the change that he's going to bring to the people of Cape Mount.
Thank you. So you're just giving Cape Mount number 1. You say out of the bat Cape Mount. Thank you, Dr. Richardson. But Ali, you agree with that before we go? Cape Mount, Bombay, but she just said Cape Mount. She left out 2 other counties.
No, you didn't. You didn't give me a chance. I would say I would definitely say Bombay, because Bombay votes very similarly to Montserrat County. It's a closed area. Most of the people who live in Bombay, they work in Montserrat County. They're very connected. So it's a very progressive area as well. So Mr. Cummings is going to get us win significantly in Bombay.
Thank you, Dr. Richardson. Because we got to go, we got to squeeze this thing in. I can just announce, I'm sorry, Dr. Richardson, I mean to interrupt you, but we'll be pressing on this thing when we say 30 seconds or a minute. Let's try to do that. Let me announce real quick. Let me announce to folks what CDC just did in the Western cluster. And this will shock you. Maybe then you can rethink. Sources from Western cluster just told us that the government of Liberia squeezed $9 million United States dollars out of the management of Western cluster. $9 million. So when President Weah went there to campaign when he was being booed, they were negotiating that they gave the government $9 million United States dollars as prepayment of the county development fund for 3 counties. Prepayment, guys, help me update. We are receiving this information in real time. You remember they gave the 14.5?
Stanton, not to cut you off. I disclosed this information on the show here before. I said they were good. The reason why they rushed the passage of that MDR for Western cluster was because they were requesting the Western cluster to do prepayment. I told you that they even did it to the company, the China Union from Bong County. They're supposed to pay $7 million. They pay $4 million. The government is pressurizing them to pay the balance $3 million.
And again, I will not call the sources, but this is somebody from within. $9 million. The people gave them. Guess what happened? This is the interesting part. And 5 seniors, manager of the company, escaped Liberia. They will not be coming back till after the election. 5 seniors, managers of that Western cluster company have escaped the country due to the election. They will not return till after the election. They gave the $9 million and they're gone.
They're not coming
Okay?
back.
So the reason why we are saying this, the Western cluster is damaged, and those that were involved on that is Edwin Mervyn Snow about this $9 million. They squeezed them. All right, is how you call him, Samuel 12. We all know they squeeze them. Some lawmakers will be getting the information I will be sharing with you guys this week. They squeeze them for $9 million. They force them as prepayment. They say you got to give it to us, or else you cannot continue. And Edwin Snow name is up. Samuel 12 name is up. It was approved by the president and other folks. And I'm telling you, the people gave them the money and the people left Liberia. Those management left Liberia. This is serious for the Western cluster. Again, 9 million as prepayment. So guys, let's wrap this thing up. It's 7 o'clock on my end. You can talk about your political leader. You can talk about whichever thing you want to talk about. You got 1 minute to talk, and then we will go to the phone line.
Yeah, so can I go first? Can I go first?
Mo Ali, go first.
Yeah, you know that the Richardson was saying, UP has failed the people of Cape Mount, as if to say UP.
They say how you win. She say UP has failed.
Look, why don't we do this thing? Why don't we do this thing?
But how you win?
I don't want that to
It is not true. What is the difference between?
But that Richardson, how you win?
You know,
is that not true? You feel the people are Cape Mount. Is that not true? Can you answer that?
No, that's not true.
So let me say that.
So guys, we gotta go. We have already got to leave.
From our recent
we have the 1 minute.
My 1 minute, please.
To you. You have the 1 minute. Let's wrap this thing. Go ahead.
My 1 minute. From our recent tour, all that the people told us, the first thing everywhere we went was that Unity Party, thank you. At least the CDC has made us to know the value of what you did for the county. First, beginning with the King George, the gold mine. When we were in power, those companies were forced to employ people. Right now, they are not employing the people. They take them on contract basis. 3 months, 6 months, they sack them. After 1 month, they take them. But meanwhile, they pay the NASCO money, the Social Security Fund. NASCO goes there, collect the money, but the people will not benefit. Number 2, the Singerstrasse Polytechnic that we constructed there from beginning to end. Today, when you go there, it's not even functioning like it used to function. The schools that we constructed, the clinic, Cape Mount County, in King George, the beginner told me, they say in King George, yeah, when CDC get 10% of the vote, then we are lucky. We giving it to your Unity Party, your comeback. That county will be one flat. Bapolu, Bomi, everywhere we went. So I'm not worried about that. It's the reception that we are getting. Eugene Fagon talked about Basso. Today, Joseph Baka was in Lower Magibi. They saw what happened there. I'm not going to talk about Monserrato. We have put on the biggest political rally in Monserrato in the history of this country. No other party going to do that for now. Not in it. In Bond County, forget it, and as we speak, our Vice Tender Bureau, along with Senator James Barney, they are rigging the part, the Southeast. That can be blocking here.
Thank you very much, George. By the way, will be taking a helicopter ride to the southeast while other people are traveling by road. George Manoa helicopter is at the airport waiting for him to take him to the southeast once he returns from Lofa. The picture of George Manoa will be putting it up.
And our helicopter brought by Echo War.
And again, we will be going through that helicopter story, which of course you guys can decide. Let me go to Dwalu, folks. Don't forget again, the Unity Party team. Can you call me John Baloo if you want to spend 2 minutes with us on the show to discuss what he asking the network to do? You guys asking for 1 day this week. Mo Ali, if you can call him, I will appreciate it. Or us, or send him the link if he can come or he can speak on the phone. That will be fine. Mr. Dwight,
the flyer. Did you see the flyer?
Yeah, I saw something. I'm trying to upload it.
All right.
Okay.
Mr.
No,
Dwight.
audience, it's always a pleasure to have you guys here. But I would say this: protecting our elections is not something we should take lightly. It's a serious issue. The National Elections Commission has a statutory duty to the country to make sure they do right by the country. They can break or make this society. So we have to force them to do their job. I understand the courts in the country, they are waiting for cases to come to them. But I know the judiciary have to play its part and say, listen, we have guidelines that must be followed. We must hold this National Elections Commission to account to make sure we have a peaceful and transparent election. This is important. We should continue to force this. This should not just come from Honorable Boykai. I believe it should come from every single political head in the country. The likes of Honorable Gunglo, Dr. Moluba, Mr. Cummings, they should be pushing this issue because everybody will suffer the consequences if these elections are not transparent and the people are not satisfied. Once again, my audience, it was always a pleasure. Guys, I got to run.
I know. Go ahead, Duadu. Thank you very much for being part of the show. See you tomorrow, Duadu. Thank you. All right, so let me just show you this before we move over to Maxwell real quick. This is what is happening at the Election Commission. Some of you can see this. They are uploading from everything we are saying. They are marking checkpoints, and folks, the materials are in time, and the Election Commission doing what needed to be done to make this thing happen better. Let's just go ahead now with the next person in their closing. That will be Prince Maxwell.
Yeah, yes, and quickly, I would just like to, before I get to the question you just said, I would just quickly like to say that our election process is part of our critical national security in the country. If the NEC fail at preventing voter rigging, it means that they have violated their secret oath of protecting our country and securing our national security in the country as well. So let it just be clear that voter rigging is a violation of our national security and our peaceful transition to democracy. So public security in this election will be of a critical importance to each and every person, that will be voting. Now, when it comes to the question at hand, I will simply say this. I hear people calling names of individuals, personalizing the voting, that because these people are there, so the people will vote for that candidate. I would say that that's a fallacy. Not because the people are there, the reason why the people are going to vote for your candidate. The Liberian people are going to vote because they are frustrated. And any candidate who is able to tap into that frustration is going to win this election. And we have tapped into this frustration. That is the reason why Dr. Moniba now has reception everywhere he goes. The fact is there. Spoon TV has been reporting it to the Liberian people transparently. Everywhere Dr. Moniba goes, the youth turns to him because the youth have been frustrated about this government and the handling of their social economic situation. So that is the reason why I can tell you that the Moniba will be definitely a major voting turnout in all of these counties. Not because we get somebody called the other senator, that other senator, that personality caught here, you still continue with. The Liberian people are frustrated because of the bread and butter issue that have now reached to them, not because senators go and see their faces. And that is the reason why Liberian people are going to vote. That's the reason why they get up early in the morning to vote, because they are frustrated with the Georgia government. And Dr. Monima has tapped into this frustration holistically. And because of that, the youth is going to go his way.
Thank you very much. Let me bring in Brother Gibson.
Thank you very much. Prince.
I mean, I call you brother because you're older than me, so don't look at me like that.
You said the people are frustrated and your party tap into their frustration, or they empathize with their frustration. You know the words
we speak to their frustration. We have spoken to their frustration. That's what I'm telling you. Don't use my word. Don't use my word. We tap into their frustration. They are frustrated by the bread and butter issue. I made it absolutely clear. What kind of man is this, Stanton? What kind of man is this? He coming from propaganda, journalistic propaganda here again. We have tapped into Liberian people frustration, and the frustration is a bread and butter issue. Their social economic issue. I made it absolutely clear to you, to Liberian people. Come on, my man. Come on, man. Come on. Come on. Come on, my man. Come on, my man. Come on. Come on. No. It's not about me. Speak about your candidate. Speak about your candidate. No. Speak about your candidate. No. Speak about your candidate, my man. Speak about your candidate. Speak about your candidate. I sat here and listen to everybody speaking. I attack nobody.
These are the two guys and they're not paying the network, but they're wasting our time. I mean, you're talking about.
Listen, anytime you say people are frustrated and are.
But you can't talk about your candidate, leader, man.
Talk about your candidate. No.
Your time is up, though.
I can use my time anyway. Anytime you say people are frustrated, I tap into it. It's a negative connotation.
It's not no negative. They are bread and butter issue because they didn't get rolled.
It means you are taking advantage of the people's frustration. You can say we empathize with the people's frustration. It means you put yourself in the people's shoes. That's how you speak the thing when you come on the public forum. But let me tell you something about Councillor Gongo. There's something that you people need to understand today. The Liberian people are not crazy people. They know the individuals who have worked for them. They know the individual, the presidential candidate who has spoken for them. They know the presidential candidate who have defended their cause, who have defended their rights, who have been victimized for their business. And that only person is Councillor Gonglo. Not JMB who want to destroy the country. Not JMB who want the country to be gone. So Councillor Gonglo stands a better chance of winning this election on the second ballot, because the first ballot is going to be hardly fought. And all we want to do is to get into the second round, because when the first round is over, when the second round comes, everybody will be happy to support Councillor Gonglo, not JMB, because the rest of the ANC people will not support JMB, not coming because the rest of the Unity Party people will not support Cummings. That is where the division is. And that Councillor Gonglo served as the panacea for a unified opposition against George Weah and to beat him at the ballot.
Thank you very much, my brother Kitchen. Let me give you this one because I like you. Let me give you this one.
We have to see corruption from Liberia. This government must go. This government must go.
Play again.
The man should be empty ground.
But you don't understand it. Your mind is not equipped enough to understand what you're doing.
The man should be empty ground.
We have to see corruption from Liberia. This government must go. This government must go.
Every day you asking people questions on how people can sweep or how they can brush.
Both ways.
Now how human being can sweep? No.
Which way you doing? Next time take Chapia. Yeah, you need Chapia now. Like Chapia you're looking for now. Now broom. Chapia you're looking for now broom. Then move for them, man. You can use words.
I'm gonna keep Fagon and Dr. Richardson and the rest for last. Because I want us to
you don't know words.
Listen now.
It's semantics, my brother. It's semantics. Yeah, it's semantics.
You and Maxwell, hold on now.
Let me bring in people frustrated.
Tabata, man. Complete Tabata.
Dama, come back, Dama. We got to appreciate when we get one of our young men or a young woman out there doing the job for the Liberian people. Dama birthday was one. Dama, we want to appreciate you. I know you couldn't come up because your grandmother got sick and you had to go there, but your birthday was Saturday, correct?
Yes, sir. Yes, it was on Saturday.
Yes, sir. So we want to sing you a happy birthday. And as folks already start sending something for you on the Cash App, we're going to do it for only 5 minutes. Only 5 minutes we're going to give you. Anybody that said anything in that 5 minutes for you. Anybody that said anything in that 5 minutes. So put a Cash App up, then we're going to go to Mo Adi to close and Fagon, then we'll get out of here. Put a Cash App up. You know the Cash App. Put it up. 5 minutes on it. Anybody say anything there, then we'll sing you the birthday. So I want to appreciate you. You've been doing extremely well, Damo. You're the entire Spoon Network. But you know why? A lot of people appreciate your coverage. Just a lady, her name is Hannah. She's from New York. She sent you $50. She said, can you please tell Damo we're born the same birthday? I just like him. That's my son. Can you please tell her name is Hannah? So Miss Hannah is watching. Now I'm saying that Miss Hannah, thank you very much. We just want to appreciate Damo Snagger for his birthday. Yeah, the mobile money, right? And the Cash App. Thank you. If you have anything to give to Diamond, right now it's 7:13. We'll keep this up. We'll be talking by 7:20 before we close the show. Anything that comes in the Cash App, the number is 609-649-4206. You ask me to do it. That's what I'm doing it. We'll send it to Diamond to appreciate him. I'm not going to ask him how he spent his birthday. His grandma was sick. So I'm not going to go there, but we want to say happy birthday, Diamond. We appreciate you a lot.
Thank you.
May God extend your years. May God bless you. And may God bless you as you continue on this journey. Thank you for helping Madam Titi and the rest of the team, in keeping Spawn up. Thank you. So the Cash App is up. The mobile money is up. Let's make it happen. And we'll keep it up to the end of the show. Mo Ali, you were laughing on something serious. He's seriously brushing he's not brushing. He's something they flow. But Doc, give us your closing. That video is very, very interesting.
Let me speak to my candidate before your talk.
No, my man, we're done with you. Mo Ali, go ahead.
I can't criticize my candidate. We're not defending yet.
Mo Ali, go ahead. I beg you, but lead it.
The man said the government must go. The point that funny is the play was people that play the government. I know that. So,
Nah, God. No doubt.
Limitation. That speaks to limitation.
The mention the red dot. Government.
And the folks, man, everybody got to
talk about Canada before the poor come. But yeah, you.
No, but man, no. The poor got to go. They're more already close. I'm begging you, man.
Yeah, so
you give me 1 minute of your time, your personal time.
The video, to be honest, the video has a message. We all say the government must go. But you know, there's something that gives you always thought. There's a Baka for anybody here, my man, Ed Remy Gray. But right now, Gibson, you can talk after you go or you come down. Tomorrow, we'll come on the show. All the questions that the agency be asking, the answer inside here. I will read it. Every minute they give me, I will read it word for word. You will see everything. You will know everything. But I don't know what made Gibson to think that opposition will only organize around Councillor Gonglo. It is a given that we know a certain element of the ANC may not support the Unity Party if there is a second round. We know winning 9 out of 15 counties will win in the first round. But if we don't and we are in the second round, majority of those who don't want to see President Weah will support Joseph Boakai in an eventual second round and we will win, including Gibson.
Do you seriously, not to do this because we're closing, do you believe that opposition to George Manasseh will come around if JMB in the second round?
As long as we are genuine about removing President Weah, I believe they will. But be that as it may, the leaders are not the ones who are feeling the pinch of what's going on in this country. The people who are feeling are the ordinary people. The decision to be made, if there is a second round, that decision will be with the ordinary people. I can sit here and say, any of the top opposition against President Weah have my support without talking to me, without consulting me. I will come right here and begin to campaign for them. That is
that's good. That's big. That's big. Thank you very much again, folks. The Cash App is up for Diamond's birthday. It will go towards Diamond. We're going to send it on the show tonight, and then he will receive it and he will appreciate you. Whatever God lays on your heart, please remember Diamond. We don't do this often, but you ask us to remember Diamond. That's why we are doing it. Fadiga, can you close this? So folks asking for the Gonglo video. We're going to put it in our chat room. Okay, if you want that, it's a TikTok somebody created. We'll put it in our chat room. I don't know what you guys are asking for it. Go ahead, Fadiga.
Did you ask a question before?
No, that's a closing, Fadiga.
Oh, just a closing. All right. Well, I need that.
I think I already spoke.
Look, no, I haven't spoken yet. Look, people beating on Ambassador Boyka. I was very, very mad in 2017 when I supported Ambassador Boyka. When the former Justice Cabinet Janet wrote a dissenting opinion stating that there were enough irregularities in our election for which he wanted us to do a rerun, and that causing his position on the Supreme Court. Ambassador Boyka said, "No blood will spill just for me to be elected." He said that. He's on record for saying that. There is nowhere in our history that Ambassador Boyka have ever supported violence. Even from the way he talked, from the way he calculated those things, people know him. This is a man that need no introduction. This is a man that we do not even need to talk. For people to put words in his mouth and try to distort his statement because of politics, we're not going to stand for it. What I want Liberians to know is that we are not going to fold our hand and allow George we have to rig this election and say kumbaya. It is not going to happen. The push and the killing has to stop. It has to stop on October 10th. I will leave it at that.
Thank you. Hey, man, wow, Fadiga, thank you a lot. Man, for you to close quick way like that. So we wrap up. We're going to finish up with Fagon. I believe we all done for today. Folks, let me say this to you. It is important for me to say this to you. We appreciate. Oh, Dr. Richardson, you have not spoken, right?
I didn't.
Okay, go ahead, Dr. Richardson. Go ahead, man.
So I'm really happy to know that Mo Ali was.
Please don't call my name, because you call my name, I will respond.
Mo Ali, don't disturb me, man. Speaking. One thing about your men on this show, yeah, sometimes you can just interrupt me. Okay, so let's
Can you
go
please
back.
say some of y'all, not all of y'all?
I
Because
think I
Brother
Yo.
calling some of y'all, not all of
Yo.
y'all.
Not someone, yo. Yo.
But all of y'all.
Yo.
So let me just go back to saying, Mo Ali, I'm very happy that for once in the history of this show, you'll be here presenting what JMP has done for Liberia. I look forward to your presentation as you are reading the information for whatever textbook or pamphlet that you have. The second question here today, people, that Mo Ali, Faiga, and my brother Fagon, who's taught me very well, don't want us to ask or don't want you to know is who stole JNB Ma. That's how we started this conversation. They don't want to know us to know or ask the question who stole JNB Ma. Whether that Ma was stolen in Minnesota when he did it for
JMB what? What are you talking about, Ma? What's that?
the
Oh,
money.
money. Okay.
Yes,
Okay.
the fundraising event that they have. Yes. Who stole it? Whether that fundraiser was done in Minnesota when they were there, or whether the fundraiser was done in Liberia, whether Joe Malu, who is supposed to be auditing all of the fundraising events, know about it, we don't want to know. Fagon, Mo Ali, and Fadiga would like to present like the credible. But we know very well, especially Fadiga and Fagon, were the same people who were castigating JMB not long ago. We have videotape and evidence to show to that. So they're not credible to tell us, whether this Ma was stolen or not. They know. And the reason why this question is very important is because of accountability, transparency. Something that Mr. Cummings always said, the best predictor of future behavior is past behavior. If we don't know who stole the Ma now, how is it that we're going to hold Mr. GMB accountable when he supposedly, or if, big word, if he gets elected?
I told you the man will be sleeping while the boat running the government. The boat starts sleeping already.
Two snap to that, Gibson. Okay, if the United Party or cannot okay tell us about this money, but they want us to hold we are accountable for things like selling property in Belgium. They want us to hold we are accountable for the money missing in the B Mountain shenanigans. They want us to hold we are accountable for the Western Cluster deal, but we cannot hold JMP accountable. Okay, when I speak about JMP, they get all jittery. They tell me, "Oh, why are you talking about JMP now?" And Mo Ali just asked a very simple question: why are you talking about JMP? Thank you very much. Please do not put this.
We agree.
No, Dr. Richard saying it was my mistake. I'm sorry. I'm deleting videos and it came up. Go ahead. Why are you doing this to me? Dr. Richardson, please go ahead. I beg you. I apologize.
Reclaim on 1 minute. Now reclaim on 1 minute.
Dr. Richardson, you on the Dr. Richardson.
I want to ask one question. What is the money that Dr. Richardson is talking about?
I will put all of y'all. I will put all of y'all in the bag. Dr. Richardson must speak. Dr. Richardson, only the good ones will remain. Please go ahead.
Yeah, when everybody's speaking, I don't even say a word. So it's very offensive to me when I'm speaking and these things are put up and all of this stuff. I don't care. You can laugh. That doesn't bother me. Because Fadiga again, Fadiga and Fagon want us to focus on.
So you put a link together. You got both of them Fadiga.
Yes, that is Fadiga. Both of them together. I mean, as well just said, yes, Fadiga want us to focus just on CDC. They don't want us to show the limitations of JMB, all right? Because to me, both CDC and UP are they're in the same boat. They're in the same boat. Now, I'm going to tell you another alternative, which basically is what Mr. Cummings has to offer. He has to offer a new hope to the Liberian people. Right now, we see today we are all mourning because of the death of a family in Liberia because of no fire service. That's what Mr. Cummings has to offer. He wants to develop a system. He's not just going to come and say, oh, I'm going to harmonize pay here and there. I'm going to give scholarship here and there, or I'm going to misspeak. And then when anybody hold me accountable, people that fight, got get vexed with Dwalu because Dwalu is speaking the truth. Mr. Cummings don't want to do that. He wants to provide a systemic rule of law. He wants to provide a systemic healthcare, a systemic education. He has the gift of putting people in the right places to do the right job, unlike CDC that we have right now. Father God will not tell you that, okay? But Father God knows very well what he said about JMP. We'll play that file one day when Stanton wake up in a good mood like how he is today.
Oh, seriously?
No, so Stanton, I want to ask one question.
Not everybody feeling will bring you on.
Hold
on. We got only 2 more people left. We got Remy and Fagon. But let me say this, folks. Don't forget, it's the birthday of Diamond Slanger. The cash app up, whatever God lays on your heart, please cash app him.
But before Dr. Richardson go, I want to know what the money Dr. Richardson talking about, because I have no idea. She said people collected money and it's
but Dr. Richardson is not going. We're almost done with the show, bye. We're almost done. Let Remy Gray go. Remy Gray go real quick.
Dr. Richardson gave me 30 seconds of her time.
Let Remy Gray go. Eddie, go ahead.
We'll be closing up our campaign activities in Monrovia.
You will come back and get that announcement, Dr. Richardson. Let Ed go ahead.
And again, vote for Councilor Brunskin and Mr.
I know it's a birthday celebration you're doing for Joe. We are on October 1st.
Vote for who? Councilor Brunskin?
Yes, I said that. I didn't miss my words. Benesi popping from my mouth?
No, okay.
Okay, thank you.
You're strong today, Richardson.
Eddie, go ahead now. Ed.
My line is really bad.
Yeah,
I was saying my line is really bad. I'm not sure. You can hear me?
We're not hearing you too well, Eddie.
It's terrible. I mean, I do
pay your internet bill.
It's really.
You pay your internet bill.
Let's bring in Fagon. Let's bring in Fagon. Fagon, can you close? You're the last person to go.
No, I'm the last person.
No. You spoke already. Don't do that. Fagon, go ahead.
Okay. That's already seen. The reason why you're not winning Grand Cape, the political person you got there name is Kamala. He's been in China for 2 years now. The guy who's there for you right now is called Hussein Sambufula. That's his name. And how I know his name? Because I'm a man. So you don't know your own people, but you will win. Now in season 2, when we start episode 1 of that Chinese movie. But Stanton, the question you ask is, everybody talk about your leader, folks. Me and I here to talk plenty. My own thing would just be 1 minute. They put in what talk plenty. Bommy, you already know how our road damage. They get our 14 million away. They bribed the government another 9 million. The people ran away. Our road damage. I don't need to tell you. Kidman, they get the people cyanide to drink in the water. Watch their go. Stole it. Took their go. Carry a helicopter every day to Burkina Faso to sell. Bapolu, China Union blast all the rags and the poor and flood. Nothing. That 200,000 vote over there will weapon. The way the boo inside, he got that in the net. I'm speaking like English. We come to Bon County, Lofa, and Lima, 718,000 votes. Jeremiah Kun is from Lima, will weapon. We will web Lofa, JMB is from there. Katumu, his wife is from Bomi. But that bomb Lofa and Lima is 718,000 votes. We'll weapon. Our 200,000 there. That 900,000 will get us small. We take the 800,000. We keep it in the bank. Then we go to Grand Basso, Magibi, and Monserrato. Monserrato, you already see your shallow. In that 901,000, I'm predicting that we'll web at least 650,000 to 700. It's a foregone conclusion. Grand Basso, Joia said he started from in the morning. We don't see one clip. JMB went to compound 1. The truck stuck on the road. Compound 2, he didn't make it. Compound 3, he went there. Lack, he went there. Buchanan, we will whip it at 3 million there. We will win there. Nothing can stop it. Magibi and Mosorado that one county. Leave it, no boundary there, nothing. That the same people will weapon. Between those three counties, there is 1.2 million votes. Actually, 1,244,000. We will get you the 244,000. And your for her, we will take another 200,000 added to it. We will web the 800,000 among those three counties. Then we'll go to the southeast. The whole southeast of Grand Gide, Grand Coup, Maryland, River G, River Set, and Sano. Babu with Divakola. How? We win Maryland. Even if we win the one dash to Kumis, so we can win it. And Maryland comes with 67,000 votes. Maryland comes with the lion's share among the 6 counties. The next county is Sano. And we all know what happened to Maputo Nipa. So we fight there. Last, the people that we expect to win. Open will win Grand Gide. We
You got time up though.
Now, last but not the least, he's from Grand Coup. It's 52,000 there. He will not win us there because he whole says here, Jack Straw he not do in Grand Coup. We're weapon. And the reason why we're weapon, because 2 people fighting. The 2 people are fighting are Abache and his man Deputy Speaker Kofa. Abache know that Kofa, Fanatic Kofa can become speaker and he be pro tem. So they're 2 fighting each other already. We will web them right in Grand Coup. So stay tuned. Don't waste your time. The election finish. Let the party begin. Let the celebration wake up. Why?
So
Because
thank you
the
very
Liberian
much.
people, wait, 10 seconds. Why? Because the Liberian people told George Weah, stop killing our children in in ritualistic killings and with drugs. Stop killing our husbands with extrajudicial killings. Stop what you are doing, stealing our money to build houses or cutting. The last one now. Everybody that made 150 in Liberia, for a whole year, they made 1,008. If you pay YF fee, take out your $60. If you pay university fee, take out the 100. That's $160. So
Thank you very much.
you made 1,800 a year. Somebody take
Fadiga.
out 1,600.
Fagon.
$1,060. I beg you, Papa. $1,060. How much remain? It remain 1,640, correct? Then you say, I pay YF fee, I pay university fee, and you cut the people their money down to 600 or 1,800. You think you're dealing with junk? Or you
Yeah,
think
but I don't
Kumis
understand why
finance
people
for
will
nothing?
celebrate the president on YF fee. Knowing very well he paid only 1 YF fee 12th grade, and then the rest of the 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, all the way to 12th grade, who fought for you? This is nonsense. For a Liberia to come out and say we pay YF fee. Let's go ahead real quick now. Remy Gray, can you come on quick because you have an internet problem? Can you finish up, Ed? Ed, we're not hearing you.
He said, y'all go ahead.
Oh, no, go ahead. All right, thank you, Ed. So, Mo, you want us to show this picture, then we got to announce how much we win. What's this, Mo? Mo, what's this? You have muted, Mo.
That picture is CDC going to Lofa. When they say they turn Lofa blue, that they play there, they turn blue.
That's CDC there?
Yeah. Hey, my man, see the people.
Oh, yeah?
That's the CDC people.
That CDC turning Lofa blue?
You don't see that side they pick up over there, you see it?
Are you kidding me? Wow.
Oh, you see the CDC on the guy back here?
I can see it now, my man. I can see it.
Where's the road that Eugene Nambe said they fix? Is that the road?
All right, so let me announce this. Let me announce it real quick. So
they send you a video from Banga from the nurses. I want you please play that video.
We played that video already.
So if you don't have Cash App, somebody just texting you send Drama money. They don't have Cash App.
So Dr. Richardson, what is this money that you're talking about? To be
hold on, let me do this. Mo, I want you to talk about this. Mo, what is this?
Money text me in the back.
Yeah. All right. So we are raising funds for our pool washers, and we've paid for the spoon talk for the whole of Wednesday to do our fundraiser. It's a paid for show, so it will be relayed also on the Class Reloaded and other radio stations. John Molu will be here to explain the payment methods on Wednesday, and then we will have the people you see on the poster, the flyer there, appearing for 5 minutes each. His Excellency, the next president, Joseph Boakai, Senator Excellency Jeremiah Kun, Rescue Mother Nyobi Lawrence, Rescue Auntie Magdalena Cooper. So we are doing this because we want to protect our votes, and we have got in touch with Ms. Titi Kane. We have had an agreement. We will pay the full amount that has been charged us to have our show on the Spoon Talk on Wednesday.
Well, let me ask you a question. I know you explained this before you came on the show, and that's my frustration. Titi can make the decision. It's not me. She's the CEO. But if you asking Liberians home and abroad to contribute, why are they contributing? You say pool washer. I want to give you the time for you to better explain. And how big is this? Is it only restricted to America, or is this a global
It is not
fundraiser?
restricted. It is global. It is global. Liberians everywhere can contribute towards this cause because we want to minimize the chances of cheating in the election. And the only way we can do that is to have pool washers at every polling center. And to have these pool washers there, they have to be taken care of. A total of 13,000 plus pool washers and supervisors will need to be deployed across the country. And that is going to cost the party anywhere between 7 to 800,000 United States dollars for that one day. And it is not small money to raise in one day time. And so we are going to have the show to call on our supporters, both in and out of Liberia, worldwide, to contribute towards this worthy cause.
So let me ask you, we having problem, I having problem. Somebody from the Capital camp reach out to me and say he want to clarify. We having problem about folks raising money more. I know you said this is a global thing. A lot of folks listen to me tonight. They're raising money in the name of JMB. You were absent when we're discussing this. In the name of Unity Party, Rescue Mother, Rescue Auntie. They're all raising money from different auxiliary groups here in America and around. What message you have for those folks? I mean,
this should be the beginning of accountability. From the very beginning of the campaign, I announced on this show that people who want to contribute to the campaign should do so through the proper channel that was set up by the campaign committee. A letter was sent to John Molu, former Auditor General, to set up this system. If you want to contribute and you want your contribution to be counted and recorded, the most appropriate way to do so is to do it through the system that was set up by John Molu. There is every means there to pay. We've been hearing about people organizing small fundraiser here and there. We do not know about it because the campaign chair, the campaign manager have authorized all those who want to contribute to the campaign. Even if you are sending it to the campaign directly in cash, you must issue a receipt, and that receipt must be sent to John Molu to be captured in the system. When you give your money to somebody and they give it to the campaign, they put it through the campaign, you have the right to hold the person who you gave your money to responsible. You have the right to ask them to account for your money. We have to do away with a system where everybody can just send a small thing. They give you money, you collect 5,000, then you send 2,000. People need to get receipt. People need to know if I am contributing $100, for example, for pool washer, I must be issued a receipt from the system, because the system that John Molu set up will issue you a receipt. You pay $100 for pool washer. There are those who want to remain anonymous.
But man, let me say this to you because we gotta go. Let me say this to you more because we gotta go. I'm seriously gonna call names. I know people that have been raising money here and there. I will ask them, John Molu, if he come on the show tomorrow, if they have reported the amount to him, what's the transparency? Because this is about a government. The
And
people say they
if
want
they
to
are not
see.
reported the money
So
to
if they are
John
not
Malu,
reported to him, who they
wherever they
sending the money
reported, they
to?
must be able to account for it.
Yes, I will call their name and I will ask Liberians, women abroad to distance themselves from that
Precisely.
individual or that group, because there will be no way Tewon Gonglo bring Jerome Gibson here and say go raise money. Then Jerome says send it to my personal cash app. Or
Exactly.
Lino will say send it to my personal bank account. No, it's wrong. Let's face it.
Yes. We
If the
must avoid
opposition want
sending
to
money to
protect
people personal
the
cash app,
vote,
people personal bank account.
pool washers got to be paid. It's not free. So again, Madam Titi will call me or call Fagon and talk to us as to how this would go. But I'm saying to you, I'm also hearing that you guys doing this week and next week, correct?
Yes, and that we've been charged for the services. Tomorrow, the payment will be made and the receipt will be displayed. But let me
Advertising pay. That's a pay program. That's a self-accrediting pay program. You should pay.
Oh yeah, I think Madam
pay,
Titi is charging. But I waiting for the Gonglo guys to come and do the fundraiser too, and Lino should come and do the
That's a very
fundraiser
great
too.
point you are making. In fact, we are considering that very seriously.
Okay, Fagon, this is the information that reached out to me this afternoon, Fagon. The reason why I'm putting you in this because you speak to Madam Titi as well, but we are very concerned for on individual that would just personally raise money in the name of a political party or a political leader. And when you ask how much you guys raised, they didn't say anything. And what was said, no, everybody's just quiet. Fagon.
Well, the popularity of Joseph Numa Boakai, ambassador and former vice president of the Republic of Liberia, is a blessing on many fronts, but also it can be a problem on at least one or two fronts. And I can tell you, around the world, Australia, Europe, Asia, people have been raising monies, even from the sale of t-shirt, caps, shirts, but the campaign have not been benefiting. And that is why I will not criticize them until I give Mo Ali the opportunity and Honorable John Malu, when they come here and say, send the money here, and you don't do that, if anybody understanding me, you will see the approach I'm taking. Because you could come up and say, look, we did not know where to send the money. Okay, so I won't let anybody go spoil that kind of money. We sit down when we explain everything, and you do not send the money now to the campaign, then I have a reason to query you. But we have not done enough publicity. We sit down here, we say, go to joebaga.com, go on the donate button. People go there, they do. But there have been groups in Australia, in Asia, in Europe, in Canada, collecting monies. So hopefully, and here in the US. So now, when John Malu comes on, and we know how to get the money to the campaign, and the money does not get to the campaign, then we'll know what put water into coconut.
Fagon, again, I appreciate that. They go to those that opposition to Unity Party. I think this is a fair game for everyone. And I will ask Madam Titi to open it to every political party if they choose to raise funds through this means as well. I think it is important. But folks, Wednesday will be the day, if it is confirmed by Madam Titi, Wednesday, if you Unity Party sympathizer, partisan, or supporter, or whatever you may call yourself, from all over the world, John Mother will be here to explain tomorrow how much they intend to raise, how the money will come in. John Mother said you can come from any part of the world. You will be able to contribute tomorrow. And they are talking about raising almost $1 million. It's not coming to the Spoon Network. It's going directly to what has been built. But you will have the raw information as the collection comes in. I want to say thank you. Let's go to Ed Remy Gray. Maybe you're hearing us. We'll go to Prince Maxwell and we'll just leave. Ed, are you hearing us?
I can hear you guys. Hopefully, you can hear me.
You're good, Ed. You're fine.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, good. Good. This is why we're so afraid of somebody who, at that level, should country that is so corrupt. because it's like you must have so many eyes on your head to be able to see what others are doing. I know in certain term I'm trying to support Mr. Weir, but there are a lot of things that are happening within his government. Maybe he's least aware about them. Maybe he's aware because he's effervescent. But if you want to tell us that everything that goes on within his administration, he should be held accountable, you cannot exclude Ambassador Buckeye from this. I think that was some of the issues Dwalu was trying to raise. We want to distance someone at some point and then hold the other guy accountable. That's double standards. Let me tell you something. This is our fear that if the ambassador should become president of our country, too many things will go on. And some people will look at him and shove him down and say, sit down. Prince Johnson is one person. His Jamaku is another person. And so many powerful people who are power hungry around the old man. That's why you see people are raising uncoordinated fund everywhere. And not because it's popular, it's because people have seen this as an opportunity to cash in. You understand? So they would do it. And take that to the state level, it will even be worse. So this is business that is going to continue as usual. But let me say this about comments. You know, a man who has supervised global initiative. Coca-Cola primarily was talking about the outreach. You talking about peanuts, $1 million. People raise billions of dollars around the world, and you are the supervisor. And now one situation, came back to say this person raise money and they use it, or any misappropriation or anything, coming service time because he managed well. Now, such a person is
Thank
what
you.
we need for our country. We need an asset manager, somebody who will come and know everywhere how to raise money in the first place. Let me tell you,
Thank you.
the ANC has been raising money, the CPP has been raising money, and then people continue to say, "Oh, this is only millionaire that goes around on top of his game,
Thank you very
and
much,
he's going
Ed.
to be on top of his game if he becomes president of the republic. And we need that.
Thank you, Ed. Thank you, Ed. Folks, I want to appreciate every one of you. A beautiful program tonight. We'll be back tomorrow. We'll have John Madu on the show. John Madu going to explain to all those that are supporting JMB or the Rescue Train or Unity Party how this fundraiser would do. It's not, listen, he will put out his own information. But want to say, share the information, tell your brothers and sisters. This is about protecting the poor washers. This is about, listen, nobody, not even in Bukulon Jide, will say, oh, we do not have our representative to that polling station because no money. Not even in Bukulon. Everybody, if you want, they are saying if you want to buy a district, you want to buy a precinct, you want to pay for 5 poll watchers, please, you can send your name. I don't know how much, maybe more. I will come back tomorrow to tell us how much actually I spent the precinct or the poll watcher. We'll have a full discussion on it tomorrow when we have John Malou. I want to say thanks to every one of you. Now, I will announce, Dama, you want to come back on the show? Let's announce this real quick. How much the folks gave you? I will take out the sending fee like I did Fagon. Don't forget. Dama?
You better take my
Fagon,
name
don't
from
be
your
quiet.
team.
Fagon, don't be quiet. Dama, we want to say happy birthday to you. Everything that
Yes,
you
sir.
got, everything that is received today, we're going to take our sending
Happy
fee.
birthday, Damo. Show it. Show it.
And
Don't
Thank you,
even.
Fagon,
Mr. Fago.
and Fagon know very well that when we take our sending fee, how much I can be
You take
before you
off
reach to the wife.
50% of the sending fee. Don't try it here tonight. You will see your sign season 2. I know you.
I want to say first, we want to say thank you. Dama was able to collect $760.
Wow.
$760 for his birthday. Dama want to
Damn.
say thank you very much. As we're speaking right now, Mo, can you come back on? Mo left. I wanted to just send him, but
Damo
Mo
going to
left.
that girl also.
700,
I forget it. I forget it. My God, open.
$760, Diamond.
Wow.
But again, I would say to you, we appreciate you a lot. We usually don't do this, but the folks wanted to appreciate you. And I also want to say to you, understand that I will take out the regular sending fee. Okay.
Allah.
So don't forget. I don't know how much you're gonna receive. What you say that? I'll take a sending fee. You don't money the picking owe me.
My man, that
You
beginning
see
receive that
it
money.
again,
Every day I can't hear when now somebody begin receive. I'm telling you, for me, by that time, I'm gonna put no here.
Woo. Let me do this. That might about to send it, yeah. If I take out the sending fee, that might hold on, stay on. I have to send this, please. The sending fee. How much the sending fee should be? That 10%, right?
And not 10%. There's no sending fee.
Wait, my man, I'm begging you that 10%.
They're not 10%. Cash out, cash out.
If I'm not, my man,
Man,
cash, I can go
it's
to
the man's
Liberia.
birthday. It's the man's birthday. That's your gift to the man too.
Man, everything
The
they
man's
on this.
birthday.
I'm sending feedback. I'm a businessman, but I'm sending feedback.
You should
But
you should pay the sending fee. You should pay the sending fee to make it receive it.
Well, if you say I'm not sending sending fee, then go ahead. Let me. But leave the people. Let me say something to you. Gibson, send the $76. That will send it picking the $760.
I already sent my own.
But then I gotta take out that 10%. I gotta take it. I told the man 10%. I'll take it $76.
I already sent my own.
So that 76 will be what, 600. Let's do the math now. We're about to go. That's 760. If we take out 76, that would be what? That's 684, right? I got it right? Yeah, 684. 684.
So which company charging that amount for the sending?
I stand on TM.
684. Let me say this, Dama. Let me see who's gonna do this. What Mo Ali? Mo Ali left. All right.
No, let me do the math. For you.
That's 684. We take out $76. So Dama is on the way.
So it's, yeah.
See you. I just want to say something.
Yes, sir.
I love to say thank you to
Happy birthday,
everybody
Happy birthday.
who contributed, and not just those who contributed with cash, but those who send messages of appreciation and those who just, call to wish me a happy birthday. I love to say thank you to each and every one of you. Yeah, that's that. I'm lost for words, so I just want to say
appreciate you. To tell you the truth, I didn't take out the sending fee. I said exactly 760.
I will be reminiscent to that.
But to say this, anything come thereafter, that one you will not get it. But the 760 right now, the 760 right now, you will get it. I want to say, Matt Diamond, we appreciate you. The reason why I was calling Mo Ali for him to help do this, we appreciate you, Diamond. We want to say we do. Happy birthday. That was a great show. Fadiga, you get that information? We got to go.
Well, I think he made an announcement already, right? Is that why you're calling Mo Ali?
Yeah, we finished with the announcement. Mo Ali spoke about the announcement.
Then that's it. That's it. Nothing else.
So
which announcement that the ANC will be launching?
You guys are saying
which announcement that the ANC will be launching on the 1st of October? Come out on Sunday.
How is it important to us? Why they concerned?
Well, I have another
the CPP.
I want to say thank you. Dama, come back. Let's close the show. Dama, you can give me an announcement, Fadiga. Dama, come back. Let's close the show quick.
If you are in Liberia on Sunday, we are asking you to stay home. Leave the ANC and the CPP.
What kind of announcement is that?
Collaboration. On Sunday, go to church and stay home. Do not be bothered with the ANC.
What kind of announcement is this?
That's what I came to say.
They say we want to disturb their program, so we are
We're not going to disturb the program.
Stay away from the streets.
Our partisans stay away from the streets.
Do not interfere with the program.
Do not interfere.
They are going to celebrate birthday.
Yo, but Dama, if Nelson get there whatsoever, I think he'll be there in 7 minutes. I want to say thank you very much. Your birthday gift is on the way, $760 that were collected. I want to appreciate you, and I hope you enjoy it. All right, give us nothing but the best, and thank you.
Thank you as well, sir, and thank you to everybody. Good night.